Hey everybody, welcome to 20 Sides to Every Story. We are playing one of our community campaign games tonight. This is kind of a sneak preview, I guess, of the next Original Adventures Reincarnated from Goodman Games. So we're playing Temple of Elemental Evil. I think this should be shipping this month, so some of y'all might be seeing this pop up on your doorstep here in short order. So until that happens, we're happy to have you here and seeing how we can screw up this this module in this story. So um, if you're watching over on Goodman Games, Goodman Games official channel, hello. We are 20 sides to every story. We're a gaming community, gaming channel. We play all sorts of things. Primarily, we play D&D, but on occasion we get into some Dungeon Crawl classics or Call of Cthulhu or um, whatever you can think of. We try all sorts of different types of tabletop systems, and so this game is part of our community campaign. So it's an open campaign, and we invite people that are fans of the channel, people that have been hanging around with us, or just catching us for the first time. Come and probably the best way to get in a game like this would be just to stop in and see us in our Discord server. So if you're in the 20 Sides chat. We'll throw that up in the chat here so you can come and join us there. Very active group. So if you're looking to get into this game or other games, folks are sometimes posting other games that they got going on there. So come and join us in Discord. And we've got a whole slew of channels that are in there supporting the Temple of Elemental Evil campaign. So just look for the game signups channel if you'd like to try to get a spot in one of the games. We do have a Patreon, and so the people that support us on Patreon, I give them the first chance to get into the games. They get priority on the signups, but inevitably we always got a few spots open, typically, and so then we try to prioritize anybody who hasn't gotten a chance to play in a game yet. So come and see that there. Um, I don't think I don't think we have anything major going on right now, which is nice that I don't have to think of what that next announcement is. So just regular schedule through the weekend. I think the next game would be Paul. You're running. I think this is Saltmarsh weekend.
It is a Salt Marsh week.
So that'll
Yep.
be. So you get to hang out in Greyhawk 2 times this weekend.
Nice.
So that's Sunday on 6:30 at 6:30 they run the 5e Ghost of Saltmarsh.
Enjoy all the Flenessy goodness.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so we're just gonna pick things up here. So our adventure tonight is beginning on the third day of the month of Ready Reet, Common Year 591. It's been just a little bit over a month game time that we've been hanging out and exploring Hamlet. I see a question in the chat. When does Temple Book ship? Been dying to get this since it was announced. I think it's supposed to ship this month. I haven't heard anything suggesting that it's delayed or anything like that, so should be soon. Um, so in Hamlet, I guess a lot has happened in this past month. Where we're kind of picking up here, construction on the castle on the southeastern side of town has slowed down a bit as both of the lords of Hamlet, the two stewards overseeing that operation, are indisposed at the moment. The most worshipful mage of Hamlet, Byrne, just a couple sessions ago, found himself petrified due to an attack that he suffered by agents of a cult that seems that they worship the chaotic power of elemental earth. And he's still up there in his tower, interned in a stony-like formation. But there's still hope that there may be some way to reverse his condition. I think the adventurers had kind of put Spugnor, the inept wizard, aspiring wizard, to go and kind of pour through some of his tomes and books to see if
That's his
maybe
title, right? Smugnor the Inept.
I think probably some of the adventurers that have passed through town probably refer to him that way. Um, yeah, so he's looking through his books and journals, seeing if there's might be some way to reverse that. The other steward of Hamlet, Lord Rufus, um, he had left a number of weeks ago to go to the capital city of Verbabank to attend the funeral of the late Viscount Wilfric, who recently passed away of old age. And so Lord Rufus was sort of expected to go and attend the funeral, and then also to attend to ceremonies for the transfer of authority to Wulfric's son, a man that the people refer to as Fenward the Left-Handed. And it has been some weeks since he left, and as of now, he has not returned. Matters in town are looking a bit different these days. The Council of Hamlet, which is sort of a local governance, sort of an informal local governance made up of some of the local leaders, some of the business folk, um, has begun once again holding meetings. There was a couple of members of that council that were found to be maybe compromised by the cult. Elder Nevitz and Mitch the Miller were two such people, and so they've been removed of their seats on that council and have been replaced now by Elmo, the son of the militia captain, and Nix, the owner of um, the Wagoneer business in town. So they've been meeting and they have sort of put out there that they still want to see Lareth the Beautiful, this character that was in charge of these bandits that had been sacking wagons and such, harassing travelers on the road. They still want to see him brought to justice. So they've kind of put out an open call that they've got a reward out there for any adventurers that might be able to bring him in, or maybe bring proof, dead or alive, bring in Lareth the Beautiful and collect your reward. Or if you got any knowledge of his whereabouts that could help ensure that his corruption and larceny is put to an end. And there are even yet greater anxieties yet that are being held by those at the Church of St. Cuthbert. There was a recent expedition that went out to the tomb of a champion of St. Cuthbert named Sir Ten, who died during a big epic battle that happened north of town here some decades ago, called the Battle of Emerity Meadows. Um, so Dane Battlehammer, he was among those that went out to the tomb to try to seek out the spirit of Sir Ten to get some um, maybe portent of things to come or advice on um, how to handle the this renewed cult that has shown up in the area, and they were granted a quite the vision of actually the battle itself several decades ago, and saw a vision of a demoness wielding a golden skull bearing gemstones, and one of the gemstones was a triangular shaped uh, gem that Dane, you would have recognized as being the same symbol that has been found branded into the necks of gnolls in the area. Canon Turgeon fears that this omen means that the Battle of Emerity Meadows was not truly a decisive victory against the cults of elemental chaos, but rather just a pause or a delay that is only now beginning to thaw. So that's kind of a summary of some of the major things that have happened in this past month in the area. Um, and I think this is where we'll take a moment and introduce our characters before kind of delving into what's happening in the now. So we'll go around the table here and have y'all introduce your characters. Just give us uh, name, race, class. Tell us a little bit about your character, and then answer the question: what's your character's opinion on the nobility and or maybe authority in general? So we'll start out here first with Casey playing Humboldt.
Hey, I'm Casey. I'm playing Humboldt. He is a human barbarian. He is a matchmaker and travels about doing basically good deeds at this point to build up a reputation so that people will eventually trust him with the futures of their children and family. Um, as for nobility, I think Humboldt sees nobility as sort of a necessary evil. They're necessary because there is evil, and therefore you need people to organize at a top level and make hard decisions. Most folk, good folk, could get along without them, but since there are evil folk out there, there needs to be nobility because nothing roots out evil like more evil.
All right. Next up we have Teasley.
Hi, I'm Ed. I play Teasley Slime. Teasley's a halfling. He's a sorcerer of the divine soul variety. He's touched by the halfling god Brandoberus, god of rogues and adventure. Well, I sort of leads into all sorts of mischief and such. And I'm a big fan of nobility because they've got all the good stuff to pinch. If you want to go stealing something really good, you go to the nobility. They've got it.
All right. Next up we've got Dane Battlehammer.
I am Percy. I'm playing Dane Battlehammer of the Battlehammer clan. Dane's recently been deafened. Uh, he believes in the rule of law, and he is very much willing to listen to whatever the nobility says. He's ex-military, so he understands the chain of command.
Very good. Next up we've got Galileo.
I'm Cliff. I'm playing Galileo, and well, Galileo. He don't really. He's a second level furball druid, and nobility. He doesn't really acknowledge nobility. They're just regular people, just like anybody else. They may think they're better, but they're not. So I'll treat them just like everyone else.
Sounds good. You sound just like the locals in Hamlet. That's how most of the people
I get
here
along
feel
good
that
with
the
them.
same way. Yeah. Um, and I think maybe Paul, we'll hold off on you for just a second.
Makes
Momentarily,
sense.
we'll get your character introduction.
Makes
Um,
sense.
so I'm gonna switch you all to the map of the tavern. Um, I gotta start figuring out a way to like organize some of these maps. We got too many maps going on here. Here we go. So it's evening time as we're picking up the story here. Um, you all, I think at least the four of you that have been introduced thus far are acquainted with each other, know each other, so it makes sense that you would be maybe gathering here at a table, sharing some pints, eating some food, and just kind of generally kind of getting settled for the evening. Maybe discussing next steps of what to do, as you've all had some maybe recently very disparate sort of experiences with evil that's happening in the area. Um, and so maybe you're kind of like sharing some of those tales with one another and trying to figure out where to go next. The tap room of the Stumbling Ogre is a large, comfortable place. It's very well lit, bright, and for the most part cheerful. It contains several rough-hewn tables and chairs. Natural tree trunk pillars support the ceiling overhead, um, and the walls are dark with smoke and age. There's a motley group of people here in the tavern, most of them either off duty laborers from the construction site of the castle or weary farmers who have been working late, um, trying to ensure that the harvest is complete in these last waning days of autumn before the winter chill comes, and that'll be that for the harvest. You all at your table have been you're being served free drinks essentially, courtesy of our barkeep over here, Ostler Gundagoot. Um, the reason for this generosity, of course, is likely has something to do with his missing son. And these free libations are maybe a little bit of a down payment of his gratitude, that slimmer of hope that maybe you'll be going out there and helping to find and save not just his son, but all of the missing folk from Hamlet who have been taken away by agents of presumably the Earth Cult under the direction of Taruko, that Earth cultist who escaped 2 sessions ago. Um, as you are all drinking and discussing the events of the day and what you might do next, you notice down here towards the entrance, 2 gnomes enter into the tavern. One of them, I believe, is familiar to Teasley and Humboldt. A gnome with dark frizzy hair wearing a green fitted tunic. Um, and into that tunic, he's got woven a symbol, kind of a stylized sun. Um, I'm going to share an image with you. Kind of looks like this. So just sort of a little patch, a little emblem that's stitched into like right over his right, kind of the right breast. Um, and he's with him is another character who I'll let Paul describe. Who are we seeing as you enter in?
Um, I'm Paul, and I am playing Trivium Quadrivium. I am a gnome fighter. I am being trained for special ops, um, and I am twitchy. I'm looking around either side. I have one hand really within like quick release grab of my bow. The other hand is going for a whip at any time. Anybody who moves silly is going to get my attention right away. And do you want my take on the nobility? Or
Sure.
they pay me well, and the rule of law. You know, you sent me the name of the gnome nation, but now I'm forgetting it.
The nation is called the Free Assembly of the Cron
Of
Hills.
the Cron
Um,
Hills. Yep.
they're
And I would die for the free assembly. And that's basically it. No words, very quiet, chewing a toothpick, um, hair tied in a very sensible top knot.
very good. So as you're walking in, Narfallen kind of leans over to you, Trivium, and he points out the other 4 characters, and he says, "Ah, these folk, these folk will know what's going on, and where we might be able to find Rufus."
Sounds good.
And
I'll follow you.
Narfallen makes his way over to the party, um, and he says, "Ah, I was really hoping I would bump into you again." He sort of gestures towards Humboldt and Teasley. You have my undying gratitude for getting me out of that hole out there beneath that old moat house.
Well, it'd be anything any decent fella would do.
Well,
We're happy to help. Being in the halls is all right and good sometimes, but not all the time. And not if you can't leave it.
I have uh, that is very wise, and I would agree. Of all the holes that I have ever been in, that was among the worst. Um, and so, well, it was not necessarily my goal or my intention to come back to Hamlet. My reason for being here was not necessarily to socialize and see you all once again, but I was anticipating this meeting. I was hoping that I might see you again. I have a gift that I'm hoping to impart upon you. And he sort of starts to kind of fumble along around in his. He's got
Oh,
like a
that's
little
two in
side
one
pack,
day.
and he pulls out these two iron rings. Um, they're pretty ordinary looking. Um, no gems or jewelry or anything on them, but they sort of have like kind of a stylized pattern to them. And he hands one to each of you, and he
Um,
says, "Humbled, you say that any decent person would do as you did and stick your neck out, not just to rescue me, but to help everyone that has fallen victim to those bandits. I don't think just anyone would do that. This ring is sort of a symbol from our people. Um, it is an ordinary looking ring, but it is one that we bestow on those that have shown themselves to be of upstanding character and um, those that do service unto others. It is an ordinary gift. It's one that we hope that doing good things would someday be ordinary among all people."
um, I'm of the opinion it's already a bit of an ordinary thing among ordinary people. It's only the extraordinary ones that get up to trouble. Though, on a similar note, we happen to be doing a bit of good or thinking about it. There's a couple of folks around that have had family and friend go missing. Um, we're sort of hoping to do a bit of traveling and maybe some investigating into it. Um, but I only had a little bit of dealing with that Taruko fella, bashing him about the head and ears. Um, would your folk happen to know anything?
Um, I haven't heard this name, Taruko. I'm not sure who that is. Actually, my my uh, uh, escort here and myself, we were coming here to Hamlet, hoping to speak with Lord Rufus. Do you?
Oh, haven't you heard? Lord Rufus is off at Bourbonbach, seeing to the secession of the Viscount. Well, the
Oh,
Viscount's
lefty.
son, the left-handed, becoming the new Viscount.
Well, sure, but that happened a week ago.
Does it not take that long?
Well, no, Trivium and I, uh, we we saw Rufus leaving.
Oh, great.
Oh,
So there's another one.
Is he
um,
among these missing that you were speaking of?
he is now. Um, uh, Dane, could you add that to the list? Dane, no, over here, Dane, put your horn in. Oh no, he's gone mute as well as deaf.
So we've got
Horn doesn't work.
another one missing.
Yeah, well, I was more concerned initially with the children that had gone missing. Bit unfair to leave them to their own devices. But if Lord Rufus and others have gone missing, best to, you know, fix up the whole lot. Um, now, Narf, your friend here is good with such findings?
Trivium, she can handle herself. We've been through a lot together this past week.
Um, well, Miss Trivium, if is it, would the folks around this area know your face?
Ah, well, I've never been here before. This is my first time. I haven't so this is a new place for me. I'm sorry. Um, but no, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, well, that's actually sort of one of the things we're looking for. Um, I have been spending a fair amount of time sort of tooting my own horn about here. Um, Dane and Galileo and Teasley have also built up a bit of a reputation. So if we were poking about, they might notice us from a distance, so a bit of a fresh face wouldn't hurt.
No, nobody knows me. I go anywhere I want to. Nobody knows me. Yeah, I fly right under everybody's sort of, I don't know, like a thing that can see things flying in the sky sort of thing. Nobody sees me.
Oh, like what the bats do.
Well, I think that has to do with sound, but yeah, sure, yeah, we do. Sure, I can do that. Yeah, real good.
Right. It's Lord Rufus that's missing too. I mean, my thoughts was, would we pop up to Nulb and see if there's, anything going on up there?
Is
But
that
I
just
wasn't.
a pop up, or is that a long way? I thought that was a long way.
It's a few days.
It's sort of an extended pop.
I'm a carter. I mean, if it's less than 10 days, it's a pop.
So we can go on a road trip.
I actually, have you got your horn? Get your horn in.
I don't need no stinking horn.
What I was saying is, if you take a few barrels of your beer and put it in the cart, then we'd have a reason to go up to Nulb to try and sell your beer.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I can make more.
And I was thinking, Mr. Galileo, since you know the woods, you could. Why am I yelling at you? Since you know the woods, you could see if there were any knoll about. Because that's sort of what I was worrying about. I'm hoping the friends and family are up in Nulb, in proper houses. Hoping they're not in a knoll encampment being eaten slowly or quickly.
Right.
Or
What's my job?
What's that? Your job?
Right. What's my job?
Well, you're cheerful and God touched, and
We'll find an egg for you to steal.
I can do that.
Basically, motivation. Whatever anybody's like, we should think about this, and you rush straight forward. Stuff tends to happen.
Okay. I can rush forward. I can do that.
Now, of course, part of that would be letting me hold on to that monkey tail for you.
No.
I just
We've been over this before. I'm not giving you the tail.
Yeah, but it would look so fashionable.
No, I don't want you to hold me back.
I wouldn't hold you back. I would just tug you back gently.
That's exactly what I don't want to do.
I'm gonna lean over to.
Hey, what happened to the rest of the monkey?
I've still got it. He's there.
Okay. Didn't want him hurt.
I'm gonna lean over to Narl.
Narfallen or Narf.
Narf.
He goes by Narf as well.
Narf. I'm gonna lean over to Narf and yeah, are you sure you want me to go with these little crazy cuckoos, these Lucy's? These guys don't seem all right in the head, if you know what I mean.
Well, they're an eccentric lot, but they're good.
And I'd like to point out that we're also not gnomes, which is something in our favor.
Dane, that's not helpful.
He just like pretends like he didn't hear you and just like continues talking because he's like getting a little embarrassed or flush.
I'm much bigger than
I get a little bit of Midwestern surprise at like having racism directly right there. Oh, I didn't see that coming right out. Right, it's out in the open like that. I knew it existed, but I didn't think I'd experience it right here in a tavern.
See,
maybe this is a reason for you to go with them, because this one apparently needs some more cultural experiences and some positive experiences with gnomes, and so.
Yes, positive.
The thing you need to know about Dane is he says the quiet part loud, and he says the loud part loud, and he says the other parts loud too.
Aye, and it can't hear a thing of it.
Yeah.
But I can read your lips.
Stone deaf.
But you
if you want to talk about him, do this first, and you can say whatever you want, and he won't know.
Right, but he can't read his own lips, which is the basic problem. If he could read his own lips, he'd realize what he was saying and then reconsider. But since he can't,
Yeah, I had an aunt like that one. She used to say the worst things at dinner, and then we'd have awkward dinners. And yeah, okay, I know how to treat him. I'm good then, real good. All right, let's go.
Narfallen tells you that it would be good for you to go with them because Lord Rufus is going to be a lifeline for the gnomes. And I'm just going to kind of summarize this. Basically, what there was sort of a political snafu that happened, um, Trivium, while you were there in the capital with Narfallen and some of the other gnome dignitaries from the Cron Hills. This new Viscount has basically said all the joint security patrols that Verbabank holds with the gnomes, with the elves of the Gnarly Wood, and some of the other kind of populations within, the quote unquote borders of Verbabank, is he's suspending all of that until they start paying essentially taxes to Verbabank, which is already sort of an insult to these people who don't recognize the fact they don't see themselves as being a part of these lines that were drawn on the Gnomish Hills in the Elvish Woods. And so the old Viscount had this good sense to, he kind of left that alone. Relations were kind of waning in the later years of his life as um, they weren't like really keeping up with the patrols so well, obviously, in these later years, but they were still happening on occasion, at least in appearances. And so now it's kind of like what you were saying with Dane. The loud part has been said loud and clear, and like basically everybody is upset. Lord Rufus and Byrne kind of understood this situation, and were very sympathetic to these other groups. And so that's why you were coming here, was to maybe talk to Lord Rufus. Maybe he could, kind of sway the new Viscount a little bit to ease up or change course. And now with him gone, um, there's sort of no one else to go to, no other voice of reason to go to.
Not to be too digging into it, but is there a giant power differential between the human nations and the gnomes and the elves? Like, are the gnomes in a one down position?
Not really. In terms
Okay.
of numbers, there's like 20,000 gnomes that live in the Cron
Okay.
Hills. Like this isn't a situation where like the Viscount's going to start marching down with his army and like take them
Gotcha.
over or anything. Like Verbabank does not have near the numbers to do such a thing. It's really
Got it.
just about it's a pissing contest with who's in charge and who pays who, and um, it's just not good. For the general security of the area, it's really bad because cooperation and all this kind of blurred with all these blurred boundaries is sort of essential. Um, and so now
Got it.
that's not happening.
Got it.
hey, there's no upkeep on the road.
Okay, well, Narf, you know, I'm not really good at the diplomacy. Uh, I'm just,
Oh,
I'm just a hired arrow.
that's actually kind of good. We've had very little success with diplomacy once we find the culty people. Um, Taruko, the big fella in the stone armor, that other fellow with the scar, the Knolls, all Alerith's fellows, really swift knock upside the head was the only way to get through to them. It's just a matter of finding them.
Okay, all right then.
Well, has
So
anybody
shooty kind
who
of situation.
has anybody who's good at talking tried talking?
How would you
When
know
we
someone's good at
find
talking?
somebody that's good at talking, maybe we'll let him try.
We let the
Well,
Dragonborn, the one who does the singing, we let him try, but they just all fell asleep.
Uh,
okay.
he is kind of boring.
Yeah. I
I
mean, they've
just
got
mean if you lead with the stick is sort of what they hear.
I've tried talking to them almost every time. Um, And then they just keep doing stuff when it's talking time.
So like I have a half brother who joined a cult, and like he kept giving his money to him and everything. You couldn't talk any sense to him. When we'd have our dinners, the one where my aunt would like talk like this guy here, we would all try to talk him out of joining the cult, but he would never quit. You can't talk people out of a cult. It's sort of a thing.
I had the same trouble with young Otis over there. We had to hit him upside the head and bring him back.
Yeah, I mean the cults, they get in your head. They just, all of a sudden you're, going clear and all kinds of strange things with rituals and everything else, and you want to join and join and join, So it's hard. This is not really a talky type of gig, it sounds like to me.
No, especially if they're the Knoll type. But that's I mean that's sort of what I was thinking. Is we load up the cart, we start heading north, we look for Knolls, and keep our eye out for Taruko and such, and Lareth.
Rufus.
I mean, I don't want to
and
say that
Rufus.
you can't talk at all. I mean, you could stage an intervention, but the first thing you have to do is separate them from the rest of the cult. Like, and then you bring them to a place where they can have a nice sit down and talk with people that care and love them, But, but first, I think we should shoot them.
Sure, as long as you've got this type of shooty that can knock people out.
Well, sometimes.
Okay. Fair. So, Dane, we throw a few barrels in the cart, hitch up OT, and head north. Is there anything else anybody needed to do?
I need to go buy a shield. What time of the day is it? Did you say?
It's evening. So the shop would be closed now, but you could certainly hit them up in the morning.
At 8:15 a.m.
Should we
I
leave
can go
now
out
or
to the
keep drinking?
stables and hitch the cart up to Odie.
You're not going to talk to my donkey again, are you? Look, every time you do, it's just another hassle. Just, all right, never mind. I mean, we'll be traveling,
Just
days at
trying to
least.
be helpful,
He's dancing now. He's taken to dance. Do you have any idea?
I never taught him to dance.
No, and you know what? No one else did, but he's still practicing. Have you ever heard a donkey practice dancing in the middle of the night when you're trying to sleep? It is
I
not.
think I did, actually.
Oh,
That's what that was. Oh wait, I didn't hear a thing.
Well, you might have felt it. Shook me out of my bed.
So, what I'm hearing is the plan. Oh, go ahead.
Trivium's gonna drink, because she sees this is gonna be a long trip. So, I will pay to fill my water skin with wine at the tavern.
Sounds good. Here, I'll give you.
Practical.
Here's the menu. I'll give you the menu.
Mind the crayfish. It always comes with problems.
Oh no, I'm not gonna eat. This is a liquid lunch, I'm drinking gnomishly. Oh wow, that's nice.
Get along fine with Dane.
All right then. Oh,
So I think what I was hearing about the plan for the next day would be you wanted to stop by Ranos's trading establishment, buy a shield.
Why are the reds always so much expensive?
Load up
Harder to water them down.
Load up the cart, and your plan is to head to Nulb. Is that right?
I think so.
Okay.
Are we doing that in the morning, or are we doing that right away?
Oh, I can't see in the dark, so I prefer morning.
Oh,
and he sort of looks around. He's like,
drink tonight, and then tomorrow we can go to Nulb.
Alex,
Sounds
I have
good.
bought 6 glasses or 3 glasses of the 2 gold variety there. I already closed it.
All right.
And put it in my wineskin.
So you're set with some premium.
Yep. It was the cheapest red I could find. I'm not drinking white crap. I know what they do in that.
Yeah. All right. Some of you are drinking your fill here tonight at the Stumbling Ogre, anything that anybody wants to do before nighttime passes and we flash forward to the morning?
Just general mischief.
General mischief.
Just
Um,
general mischief. Nothing
sounds good.
specific.
Galileo's just gonna wander out and stroll over to the stables.
Okay, gonna go and read Odie a bedtime story or something. All right.
Read the
Um,
stars.
sounds good. So, the evening passes, morning comes. You wake up, probably have a bit of breakfast here at the Stumbling Ogre before heading out to fill up the wagon with the barrels as sort of your alibi or your cover for when you head to Nulb. Um, but first, you wanted to stop by. Is everybody going to the general store? Um, or is it just Dane that's going to go pick up a shield?
I think I'd tag along to take a look around because there were some suspicions raised by Thornwall to see if we could identify what might have been in that cart that headed north to Nulb a few days ago.
Sure.
I would tag along too because I want to convince Dane that gnomes are awesome.
Okay. Can you all see this
But
map without having tokens down on it?
It is loading for me. Yes, I can see the map.
Okay. Um, I won't necessarily worry about throwing the tokens and everything down on there. But it sounds like is anybody abstaining from going to the trader's establishment and doing
Um,
something else?
I'm not really going to the trader's establishment. In fact, when when you go out to where the donkey is by the cart, you find that there's actually two donkeys hooked up to the cart.
Oh, all right.
Um,
Little partnership is happening here. Share the load.
I,
Um,
I, I did have a bit of a hair of the dog this morning, but does everybody else see two donkeys?
Nope.
Really got to do something about these eyes. Oh,
oh no, I see two. What? Do you not see two? Are you okay? I'm holding up two fingers. How many fingers am I holding up?
Um,
Oh,
just the one.
oh, it's not good. This isn't good. He's got a problem with his eyes. I think you should probably get that checked out. And then I'm going to go back to Dane and tell him about my nephews and nieces and my cats and everything else that is awesome about being a gnome.
Ah, yeah. No.
You probably can't hear me because we're walking side by side. And
Yep. Not a word.
yeah, but I'll keep going.
all right. Those of you that are going to the trader's establishment, you make your way um, just past the wooden fence where there is a little courtyard here. Of course, this building off to the left here is sort of a stables of their own. They do sell some livestock and whatnot. I think maybe a few of you had surveyed the livestock that they do have to offer, and they are fairly malnourished, and they don't look like the healthiest of beasts. So whoever that was, I think, passed on the deal that they were going to make with them. But down here to the south is the shop proper. And so as you kind of walk in, little bell on the door rings and alerts Ranos to the fact that he's got some customers. He's sort of a larger man and sort of very nice
Bless you.
finery. And this shop is sort of very much kind of like the flea market type of deal where there's just random boxes of stuff. I mean, it's all more or less like organized, but you've got some farming implements over here. You've got some gently used leather armor and such hanging out in a rack in the back. You've got some miscellaneous weaponry and such. And Dean, if it's a shield that you're looking for, you definitely see a few kind of beaten up shields that they have in store that would be functional enough. Ranos kind of runs up to you and he says, "Ah, welcome, welcome, Dane, my friend.
We
How
don't
are
have
you
any time.
today?"
We don't have any time for chit chat. I need a shield.
I'm
Ah,
still
shield.
telling a story, by the way. Like I'm still going. And that cat situation is why gnomes don't circumcise anymore. And then just realize that another thing has happened and I just walk over to somebody
He
else because I
just
can tell that it's not
smiles at
listening.
you, and he grabs that shield and hands it to you, Dane. Um, does anybody know what the price of a shield in the player's handbook is? Is it like 10 gold?
10, I think.
Okay.
Top of my head.
So
10.
he tells you that he'll sell it to you for 10 gold.
I give you 8.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Okay. So go well. Oh,
He says, "You will give me 10."
all right. Never mind then.
Oh, do you need a little money? I got a little money. If you need a little money, I can loan you a couple gold.
Dade walks
not
out.
it's not I could loan him the money. I didn't even realize he walked out.
Oh. Could I have the shield? I'll just slide it into his backpack later on.
So you're handing him the 10 gold.
Yeah, I'll buy
Okay.
I'll just double check the shield, buy it for 10 gold. Like, could you throw in that piece of leather and I'll just strap it over so it looks like a different shield.
Okay.
Just, and then at some point be like, oh, hey, Dane, I found another shield. Boop. Dane, put your shield, Dane. I found a shield. Ah, you can't hear me.
Why didn't you tell me you had a shield?
I didn't know that this was the type you were looking for.
Oh. Okay. Shall we go?
Hi, is there anything everybody got their emergency healing potions and such?
No.
And you definitely, when you walked in
Hello,
there,
fat.
saw there was like a big crate that had a big sign that said 45 gold pieces, and it was clearly their their display unit for their healing potions that they just acquired.
I don't need no potions.
I am. Galileo, is that you?
Oh,
Seems like you already know.
I feel a little bad getting him to start moving. He's like holding a switch. He's like, I don't know what to do right now.
Oh, I do, and I pull out my whip and I
make a
hit him.
sound at Odie, and we both start moving all by ourselves. Then
Oh, now I feel bad.
All right. So you're off taking the oh, let's just see.
I was so close to doing a California accent just for gnarly forest. That forest is gnarly. Whoa.
So with the cart and everything, it's like going to be like basically 2 days to get to Nulb. There are essentially two routes that you could take. The low road is the one that kind of it maybe takes a little bit longer, but circumvents the marsh. The high road runs through the fen, and that's the one that leads right past that old moat house. So generally speaking, folk would advise you don't take the, you know, you've probably only taken the high road because you've been seeking adventure and danger, but generally folk don't go that way because they don't want to risk being eaten by giant frogs and such. So any
To the
preference
high
that you
road
have
it
which way
is.
you would go?
Um. Uh.
Well,
Does anyone
Cody,
remember where that farm was out and where the Knoll stronghold was?
So the Knoll stronghold would be out here.
Complete opposite direction.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, okay.
there was a farm, like the original farmstead that like where they,
That the girl lost her parents at. I thought that was on the high or the low road somewhere.
yeah, it's like somewhere over here. Yeah, in this general area.
So I would say we take one out and one back. I have no preference as to which one which way.
Which way is quicker?
Yeah.
The low road?
I thought the high road was quicker. But the low road is safer.
Well, safer is quicker.
No.
Cody and Galileo just start walking down the low road.
I don't know how to talk to donkeys, so I think we might be taking the low road.
Well,
All right. Let's
if you
go.
want to go the boring way, I guess.
So this would be about 1 day right there, and you know, I leave it to the audience to make wandering encounters happen. So safe so far.
Can I do it?
No.
Okay.
So you would be making it to Nulb, basically. It'd be like evening, like it'd be pretty close to like dinner time, like 5, 6 at night. Um, sorry, go ahead, Casey.
Nope, that's it.
Okay. So a little description of what you're seeing as you're arriving in Nulb. Um, you've heard all sorts of things about Nulb. It's sort of been described to you by biased sources, of course. The folk of Hamlet would say Nulb is a terrible place. The people there of poor character. It is a place where criminals hang out. They have no respect for each other, no sense of community. It's dirty, and your first impression, probably as you're coming into town, you're not seeing anything that's changing that descriptor. The village is very ramshackle. Like many of the buildings look, those that are built of stone look like they're very aged, and probably have a lot of evidence of sort of deterioration. Maybe roofs kind of half kind of bowling in on themselves. But most of the buildings are made of turf, mud brick, and crudely hewn logs.
Uh, uh,
There's only like one or two buildings in town that has true stone foundations and proper construction. Um,
Given that, though, is it smaller or larger than Hamlet?
it would be, I would say, smaller.
Okay.
Not significantly so, but you know, Nulb Nulb is probably 300 people, probably closer to 200, whereas Hamlet, uh,
400, 500.
yeah, I was thinking like 500 or so.
Okay.
Um, if you take into account all the farmsteads and whatnot that are in the immediate vicinity, um, you can see it's bustling with activity. There's a lot of activity, especially by the river. There seems like there's some docks there. This isn't like a port or anything, but there's some small like fishing vessels and whatnot that are out on the river, and some folk that are just like fishing off the docks themselves from the land. Um, there's also herdsmen and farmers with livestock in the town, kind of meandering. It looks like there's a building that maybe has some kind of a market where it seems like maybe people are bringing in livestock for sale, and you could see what looks like a butcher's shop. So like it's bustling with activity. There's people managing their lives and whatnot there, but it's apparent like nobody takes any pride in this city. It's not well kept, and it gives off that impression that it's been ignored by the lords of Verbabonk for definitely. This is remote. It's not on any major tradeway or anything like that. Um, the people with wealth have totally discarded this place. Um, Up ahead, as you're coming into town, along the dirt road, eventually makes its way to where the river. It's not really a river; it's more of a stream, but um, there's a bridge that goes over it, a wooden bridge. And right before you get to that, you can see sitting in the dirt is an well, maybe not elderly, kind of a maybe like middle-aged woman who um, has sort of a grayish cloak on, cowled. You can see kind of strands of her dark hair have grayed and kind of have that kind of silvery. She's starting to maybe she's about to enter into her later years. Her face is looking down into the dirt, and her hands are holding aloft a wooden bowl. Um, you
I
can kind
assume
of see
human.
from your vantage
Sorry.
point. There's a few copper pieces in there, but there's no source of great generosity that's coming through here. So just a few copper coins in there from those generous enough to have noticed her.
Alex, can I retcon something where I would have traded out a gold for some silver?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. No problem.
Okay. Um, I, I will, and I'm assuming this woman is human because the majority of this area is human, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
You're guessing so, yeah.
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna. Oh, that's a DM meta thing. Okay.
Well, I say that more because she's got a hood over her head. Like
Okay.
from what you can see, she looks human, but maybe half elf, whatever. She's not short enough to
Probably
be
hag.
a halfling. She could be a hag.
It's a
Probably
it's a,
hags.
it's always
Probably.
hags. I'm gonna drop a silver in the bowl, but I have my hand on my whip. Um, and then I want to say, hello, mother. And I know that I guess I would know the description of what our I can't remember his name. Sorry, the lord that we're looking for.
Oh, Lord
Rufus.
Rufus.
Rufus. Yeah. Yeah, have you seen a man? And I describe Rufus. Has he come through? And
Yeah,
maybe give her a swallow of wine as well.
yeah, she's well, does she take the wine? I don't know. Yeah, she will.
Okay.
She says thank you. You're so kind. You're so kind. This kindness is in such rare supply. Give me an insight check when you mention Lord Rufus.
Okay. Oh man, not my strong suit. I dumpsteaded wisdom. Oh,
Yeah.
dirty one. I rolled a 2.
So she's just like um, pouring this gratitude on you, and she says, Lord Rufus, no, not many lords in Nulb.
Sorry, Alex. I don't know that I would have used the name. I would have just described what he looked like because I'm assuming he's kidnapped. Sorry, I meant to be more explicit about that.
Okay, so you just
Yeah,
described what he
yeah,
looks like.
what he looked like. Yeah.
And she says, many folk coming into Nulb.
Okay.
Um, I'm sorry. I guess I'm not can't be sure.
Well, may may the glitter. I'm blanking on his name too. The gnome god glitter.
Garl Glitter Gold.
Yeah, glitter gold. May glitter gold shower his blessings upon you, and then I just walk off.
Artie, slow down. You're going to kick up some dust. Slow. No, slow. He's just like, me.
Dane's going to go up to the old woman and ask her name.
She says that. One second. this. She says that um oh, it's in here somewhere. She tells you that her name is Martha. And actually, Trivium, you kind of like walked away after you gave her the donation. She kind of reaches up and like kind of grabs hold of your tunic, and she
Okay.
says, I think one kindness deserves another. Um, and she says, if I may, and she's got sort of like a little kind of beat up looking little bag next to her, and she pulls out of it a little bundle of parsley, and she says, yeah, I know it's not much. The only source of income I have is I go out into the wilderness. I collect herb for Mother Scrang. Um, if if
Oh,
if I could,
parsley's a
please.
gift. We put it in all our hot dish. It's it's really good in casseroles and hot dish, and yeah, when we go to the Church of Glitter Gold, we all put it in the hot dish. I will give her a copper on top of that for in exchange. I can't take your only source of income, but I would be happy to have this parsley.
And then she says, bless you," and she sort of does like a little kind of religious sign. And if any of you are proficient in a religion, you can make a
I
religion
am
check.
I am not. Anybody? No, no
No,
religious folk here. Okay.
Nobody takes that skill.
not our cleric.
No, because it's intellect, and I'm not very smart.
So
I will give her gold.
she says, "You're such generous folk. We don't generally have well, wealth is one thing, but to be handing it out so freely, I bless you. This will feed me for a month."
Well, I'd like to feed you for a day, and I'm going to give her one of my rations, along with the silver.
Oh, bless you. And she does it again. She does this sign and kind of covets that a little bit. And she
Um,
says, "You did that? The man said that you were looking for a missing someone. Is he a friend of yours?"
more of an acquaintance. We are also looking for some missing children.
Missing children. Oh dear. You said you were coming from Hamlet?
Yes.
This is terrible.
Have there been people gone missing here as well?
Uh,
She says, yes. Um, perhaps here isn't the best place to speak of such things.
Can I do an intellect check on her?
Sure.
Oh,
You're not sure that like she's giving off some kind of vibe. Like she's changed a little bit. Um, the gratitude that she was showing just a moment ago, that's th- kind of gone away. It's almost like she's becoming like a different person a little bit, but you're not sure what that vibe is that you're getting. Um, she's curious, she's asking a lot of questions about you, but you're having a difficult time understanding what her motives are.
where would you like to meet?
She says, "Well, just in town there," and she points to one of the probably more rundown looking buildings. She points to it. Um, it's got a little storefront, a little shingle out that says Mother Scrang's, and she says, "Mother Scrang, that is who I collect herbs for. She's very wise. I think she would be very eager to hear about these missing children, these missing folk from Hamlet.
Oh, out of curiosity, have you got any more of that parsley?
She says, "Yes," and she digs around in her bag and she hands you a small little bundle that she's collected.
And what do you sell it for?
Oh, well, Mother Screng sells all manner of herb. So I collect herb and I sell it to her, but then she operates
But
a store.
what would she pay you for this little bundle? Hey,
Oh, I'd have to collect quite a bit more than that, and I'd get a few copper.
well, I'll give you one for it then.
Oh, bless you. And she, you know, gives that to you in exchange for your copper.
Humboldt says that folks who help people should be helped themselves. So that's why I'm giving you these things, and you've helped me with some parsley.
That's true. Uh, though I wasn't thinking that you would all just open your coin pouches and pour them out before we even got into town. Though, blessings upon you, missus.
Humboldt, what are you saving your gold for?
Everything that I need gold for. See, normally, a nice miss like this, I would ask, does she have any family? Does she need the service of a matchmaker? Would she happen to be willing to rent out a room in her house? Things like that.
I see. I don't think that I need to get anything from her.
Unless you want parsley.
Yeah. Well,
It's good and hot dish. I just telling you, you get some chicken or some tuna and a good soup base, maybe some pasta. I don't know. I mean,
well, then you
noodles
can
will
make
work.
supper tonight.
It's
Yeah.
more for the long term salute.
I'm gonna walk over and feed mine to Odie.
Oh,
That's going to come out smelling
Fresh like a
fiercely.
daisy.
Ah.
Well,
What
sure.
did
Some
you say?
people chew it to get rid of like bad breath and stuff. That way, that's what we do as gnomes. I don't know what you guys do to handle your halitosis and whatnot.
You'll appreciate it later when he's dancing and he's breathing hard.
Does it do something different to donkeys? I didn't know that. That's a new information for me. That's it. I'll do a do-over. Okay.
so
Mrs.
Martha, you have yourself a great day. What was the name of your friend that you sold the herbs to?
It was Mother Scrong.
Scrang, yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, no, it's Scrang, and he super
Oh,
mouths it.
oh no, I've got what's called a diphthong, so I say scrang.
No, I meant for the he's not wearing his horn again.
Oh, scrang.
Grain.
That's good
Sounds
enough.
like a
Yeah,
Teenage
that'll
Mutant
do.
Ninja Turtles
Those-
villain.
Although Miss Martha, would you happen to know where insert name of tavern that was on the seal for the barrels is?
Oh yes, and so I got this map up. So basically,
Whoop. It is dark for me.
oh, is it?
It is for me
One
as
sec.
well.
There you go.
Better.
Bum.
So you're
There you
like
go.
right here, right before that bridge. She points to this building right here, and she says that is the Waterside Hostel.
That makes sense based on the name. Thank you kindly.
She says, be careful if you're going to be going in there. It's a little bit of a rough joint.
It's right on the name of the tin there. I mean, it says it's hostile. I was sort of expecting it.
Oh, that's a bad joke.
It's super bad. I feel bad about it even saying it. I'm like super
She chuckles,
embarrassed.
but you gave her a lot of money, so
yeah, you can buy humor. Hmm. I got
Um,
nothing else.
So shall we see Mother Scrang? Then we can stop by the hostel and see if they're in the mood for buying beer.
Yep. Let's go.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Okay then.
Before I flip you, well, no, I'll flip you on the map. Let's get tokens on there. Actually, I don't know. Maybe this is like a good place just to take a little break because I don't have your tokens on there, so we could take maybe like a 10-minute break. I know we're doing it a little early, but we'll just be away for just a second here, folks. Take a little bio break and get our map set up, and then when we come back, they'll be entering through the doors of the Waterside Hostel, and we'll see what happens then. So
Sounds good.
thanks everybody. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back. We are playing Temple of Elemental Evil. Our party has just arrived in Nulb, and basically they are here searching for probably a lot of answers to a lot of questions. Some of those questions are: where is Lareth, the Beautiful? Where did he escape to? Um, what has happened? What has become of some of the kidnapped children and townsfolk from Hamlet? Um, and all sorts of things kind of surrounding all of that villainy that has happened. Um, One of the leads that the group, a while back, those that traveled to the Moat House had on Lareth was that some of his, he clearly had some degree of a large force that was holed up beneath the old moat house, and they had quite a barracks kind of set up. And so once the heat got a little hot on them, they realized that there was adventurers trying to get down in there to capture them or deal with them. They kind of scooted and were able to escape before that confrontation ever really happened. But in their haste, they left some things behind, and a few crates and barrels with this hostel, the Waterside Hostel, were left behind. A clue that Lareth must have some business or some tie, maybe to what degree we don't know, but some ties to this location. So that's sort of how we ended up here. Um, so you five are here. Galileo and Odie have carted the cart here. You can see there is a little stables off to the south side of the building. If you wanted to stable up, you know, the cart or the donkeys and maybe park the cart out that way, that would make sense to do so. Um, I guess the question is, Galileo, you're staying as a donkey? Are you gonna go hang out in the stables, or what's
How long
happening
does your
there?
wild shape last at this point?
Um, I probably won't stay as a donkey very much longer. So
Okay, so you're maybe just bringing the one true donkey, stabling them up and whatnot. So we kind of gloss over that. Um,
as we go over to this stables, the donkeys are walking in unison, just like they're marching.
Oh, now he's have got him doing a parade.
little doing a little show.
Synchronized donkeys.
I don't want. That's not normal.
Well, Alex, knowing that we've been told this place is rough, I am going to cast mage armor before we go in.
Okay, yeah. Any other preparations or spell casting that is happening? Feel free. Um,
Um,
And once we're once Odie's over to the stables, I'll drop uh, the donkey and come back as myself.
okay. So uh, as you all are kind of collecting yourselves in the front of this building, this is one of the more substantial buildings in Nulb, the Waterside Hostel. It's one of the two buildings in town that actually has a foundation of field stone and walls of sawn timber. A more permanent fixture here. You can hear from the
I'm
outside just sort of It's getting to be evening hours, and so it's probably it sounds like it's pretty packed in there. You can hear all sorts of like just yelling and probably not a lot of singing, just a lot of yelling, a lot of loud, drunken conversation. It's early evening, but it sounds like they're tying it off pretty well on the inside.
I'm going to cast aid on Humboldt, Teasley, and our new gnome friend.
Trivium, thank you. Oh, I feel so much better. That's all great. Yeah, thanks.
So how many hit points does that give?
5.
That's temporary, right?
Nope.
Your
No.
max increases by
Maximum
5.
Max
points.
increases for a short
Yeah.
period of time. Okay.
For an hour, I think it is.
Very important.
It's for like a day. It's a long time.
So we're bringing in the little barrel of beer.
8 hours, sorry.
Dane, is it good to bring in the little barrel of beer?
To drink?
Well, we're
Or
to
to
drink
sell?
and to discuss the sale of.
Sure.
Remember,
I have
we're
3. We can use the one that I've been drinking out of
aye, that'd be
to
fine.
let them have a taste.
Hi. And that way we don't just walk in and say, "Hi, we're looking for children." We say, "Hi, we're here about beer." And then when it comes up in normal conversation, we then inquire as to if anything strange has been going on, like extra children appearing.
Does anybody stand by the other barrels of beer? We didn't just bring the one small one. Did
Oh, I mean, they're fair-sized barrels. I don't think anyone's going in there.
we? Yeah, but somebody might want to tap into one and start.
Oti
Oh,
got
that'd
his
be
fill of
exciting.
Oti got his fill of beer last time in Verbonbok. And lipstick.
Are
On the
we
second
gonna
level.
stand on the? I mean, is there supper in here? Is this like a supper club? What's going on in here?
It's a fair question. We could
Um,
open the door.
Yeah, I just
Oh, and there it goes.
Oh, and the
Oh,
door's
I'm coming.
open, and what you see as you do so, there's a fire that is crackling in the fireplace to your right. The patrons here are conversing very loudly. Um, Hardwood bar straight ahead. And as you're entering, immediately, this individual and this individual, a male and a female, um, are the female is wearing red silks, a black corset. She's sitting at the edge of this wooden table, and her gaze is fixated on you as you enter, and she bites her lip suggestively and maintains an intense gaze. The well-groomed male, just behind her, strikes a very similar demeanor and gives you a wink and a flirtatious smile. I think because we're on the Goodman Games channel, I gotta like stay PG-13, but they're doing something to you with their eyes as you're walking in.
we're in Sin Cities right
Yeah.
now. I just tell you right now, this is not good. These are the people who don't know the good faith of bitter gold. Yeah.
So no particular need for matchmaking in here. Check.
They're
Ah,
very
if
they're
they
able to
were
do their own
dwarves,
matchmaking
maybe.
as long as you got enough money. You see, I'm just gonna point out here like some of the notable folk in the tavern that are kind of catching your eye. Probably, for sure, you're catching a glimpse or taking stock of the barkeep. I'll throw up his image because this was one of Cliff's art.
Nice.
Here's the barkeep. He is wearing thick woolen clothing, an apron over that, thinning hair, a receding hairline, and an eye patch over his left eye. He seems um, quite attentive to his patrons. He's hustling behind the bar there. Um, there's one individual that he seems to be tending to maybe more so than the others. One that I'm sure Dane for sure recognizes him. Teasley, you definitely recognize him. But the disgraced knight that goes by the name of Sir Gerald, or the former Sir Gerald, is at the end of a bar stool. Looks like he's got a bottle of dwarven whiskey near him. That's its contents half empty. Um, and so this is a character that was invented because of some downtime shenanigans. So that's one of the fun things about this campaign is when you're not in the game, you earn downtime that you can then spend and do stuff in the Discord channel with. So that's sort of his origins. Um, there's yet another individual that catches your eye, kind of to the north, I guess the northwestern part of the tavern over here. A very burly looking man. Um,
Very wet looking man.
burly. He's very top
Burly.
heavy.
Okay.
Wearing leather armor, head shaved on the sides. He's got just this tuft of overgrown fur on the top. He's just tattooed all over his body. Enjoys the ink. Um,
Did he skip
Dane,
leg day?
maybe. Dane, give me a perception check as you're walking in. There might be something that you would recognize about him. Not so much. He's just, I don't know. Maybe it's an abomination to see a man with so much ink all over his body. But he's over there enjoying himself with what seems to be another lady of the evening. They're playing some cards. Um, even with that, you all notice that he's not sitting on a bar stool proper. He's actually sitting on a crate, which is sort of odd, um, as nobody else is sitting on a crate. Um,
How big's the crate, Alex?
Um, I would say it's probably no. It's probably like 2.5 feet tall. Equal
Not
proportions.
gonna not gonna fit a human in it.
No, no,
Okay.
not
Is this
not
the only
unless
crate that
they were playing some Jenga with the remains.
All
Um,
right. Okay.
is this the only crate where we see around the room?
I would say it's the only crate that you see in the room. There's probably some stores of crates and whatnot with bottles and whatnot in the back rooms, but none of them are out for patrons to visibly see. Um, the woman, both of these two folk seem heavily intoxicated. It doesn't even seem like they're really sure what game of cards they're playing. Um, so that's kind of some of the folk that you're seeing about the tavern here. Everyone looks a little seedy. You get the sense that everyone's a moment away. They're just kind of waiting for trouble to happen so that they've got an excuse maybe to grab a dagger or something or get into a fight. It's got that feeling of like there's tension on the air and everyone's just waiting for it to pop.
Well, I'm going to yell, Jerry, and walk over to the knight.
And he he
Oh.
definitely turns around and looks at you and he just says, "Oh no, oh no, oh no!" Takes another
Well,
shot.
I'm sorry. I was going to buy you a drink, but if you don't want, I'll just keep to myself then.
Come on over here, fella. Let's have a drink.
Thanks, Jerry.
He's just rubbing his temple, and this man with the eye patch like kind of comes over with kind of a curious look, and um, you know, grabs his shot glass and puts it inside right in front of you, Teasley, and he pours you a little bit of the dwarven whiskey.
I'd like to buy one from Jerry too.
Is that right, Jerry? You really think you need another one? Um, and he just solemnly nods, and nope, he pours him pours him a shot, which he very quickly imbibes.
All right, I'll drink it too.
And Sir Gerald, he engages you a little bit, and he says, "What now? Why are you here? What more could you possibly do?"
Well, I could buy you another drink if you want, but it seems like maybe you're okay there. Um, but well, my friend here is selling some booze that he made, and so that's what we're doing.
To the bartender. We're not selling booze in a bar to patrons. We're looking to sell to the bar to you, good sir.
Right? Yeah, I suppose that's important.
That would be
Yeah.
what doesn't get me hit by the bartender. Yes.
Alex, as all of that's going on, I'm gonna crawl over to the stairs where I just moved my token. Just FYI.
Okay. Are you doing so hoping trying to be kind of coy about that?
I'm trying to be actually blending, and like I'm just moving with confidence, and then once I get to the stairs, then I'd be stealthy.
Okay.
Get your clipboard.
Yeah,
Go
my
ahead
clipboard.
and make a stealth check as you head up there.
Okay.
Okay. Nobody stops you as you start to kind of go up the stairs there.
My point is to be able to have visual on all of them and be able to have bow shot on anybody who threatens them.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yep.
Very good. You get the sense that this leads up uh, to. This isn't quite as expansive as the um, the inn at Hamlet. There's probably just like maybe 4 rooms up there for
Okay.
rent. But yeah, you're up on the landing and you have a pretty decent view of the whole tap room.
Okay.
Um,
I'm taking a sniper stance.
all right. So you're up there. Over here, Humboldt, you kind of proposition that maybe the barkeep here buy this ale. Um, he looks at you curiously and he says, "I don't seem to recall ordering any shipment from any of you folk. Who sent you?"
Oh, no, we're looking to sell. He's actually new. Well, not new to. He's a dwarf, so he's not new to anything. However, he's just started brewing around here. Unfortunately, the recent accident has left him a bit deaf. So he wanted you to have a sample of this, and if you're interested, then to make an arrangement. And I'm a carter myself, so I'd be doing the transporting. But we thought we'd bring you a bit of a batch to sample.
Teasley, I like to drink it sometimes.
He says,
Also, success story.
he
Peer
grabs
review.
he grabs a couple of tin cups and he says, "Pour it out. Pour 2 glasses. I'll be right back." Um,
Sure. So
so he kind of invites you, roll it back here and tap it, and it seems like he's gonna sample it and taste it and assess whether it's something he wants to buy. But he puts that on you to do, and as he tells you that, he walks away and he goes to the other side of the bar, and you see him. He goes over here and starts to have a conversation with this other bloke that's playing cards.
I try to read his lips to see what he's saying.
Yeah, what did I say that was going to be? Was that an insight check?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make an insight check.
Ugh.
Oh, it's a 7. You're not sure. The barkeep's back is turned to you, um, and so you're not sure what he's saying. Um, Even with a 7, you can tell that uh, the larger guy with the tattoos, he's totally blowing him off, is what it seems like. He's not paying attention. He's giggling with his paramour here. They're playing cards. Whatever's being said, you can't get the meaning, but he's not being taken seriously.
Okay.
so while behind the bar and kind of getting things in position, does it look like they would be low on supplies? Like they suffered from the loss of all those barrels and such things? Like are their stocks down Like, does it look like a full bar back, or does it look like there's, just like one or two rolling around?
Nice.
Yeah, make a intelligence check.
Yep. Nope.
Um,
Oh, there's
it the
lots of
thing
beer.
about it is this is sort of maybe a little bit unorthodox. The bar, like it's just like a lot of the alcohol and such is being stored in all sorts of different containers. Um, as far as like beer barrels, like there's a couple of kegs behind the bar, but without being able to see their stores in the back, that doesn't tell you too much. So it's just sort of difficult to assess from out here.
Well, it's not. Where's the kegerator? No, it's
Ah,
fine. I'll just put it here.
Alex, I'm going to be scanning the room for anybody that I think is dicey. Is there anybody that strikes me as
All of the above, but
yeah,
there
the
anybody
whole
who
I mean
isn't?
it's the Moss Isley Cantina, I get it, but like is there anybody who is threatening my party that is eyeballing them in a way that I think is more
yeah, go
than
ahead and make
res?
an insight check.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of that vibe
Yeah.
in the room, and you're not sure if any of it's being directed towards your party.
Under my breath I say, "Oh darn."
Honestly, the biggest threat is Teasley. So
Yeah.
um,
Um, Actually, now that you mention that, Dane, we're sort of reaching the part where I'm not seeing a lot of stuff about. So I was going to inquire whether Teasley saw anything that had that little weeping eye or a triangle or such on anybody's possessions.
Oh, do you want me to look? Jerry, have you seen anything with eyes on it?
Oh, that was not what I thought you were going to do.
Jerry says things with eyes on it.
With
Um,
it, it's like an
it,
eye, like a crying eye.
it would look like, and he pulls out the stone. He's got one that's his stone was the one with the weeping eye. It would look like this, except maybe not the weeping part, or a little triangle.
He seems to kind of twitch a little bit when you say triangle.
Oh, that was not a good reaction.
Uh,
Hey Alex.
Okay, Jerry, Udo didn't come. He's not
uh,
here.
no, the triangle. Yeah, I just did a delivery to a place where a bunch of folk had little he kind of like he takes a little bit of like the whiskey and dips his finger in it, and he kind of follows the pattern of that triangle with the little line in the center, and he says like this, right?
A
Hey,
bit like, and
that's
he just kind of
good.
like wipes that off the table real quick, like I.
I just did a delivery for those two jackasses from Hamlet that run the store. That's why I'm here. I was delivering some supplies for them. Told me to come here, and he at this point he kind of like does a subtle point over to Watt, and he says, "I talked to that fellow right there, and he told me
Is
to."
that where your is that where your mouse is right now, Alex? Sorry.
Uh, this is Watt. This is the guy that
Okay,
he
thank you.
The
points at,
Thank you.
bartender.
Thank you.
the
Thank you.
bartender.
Sorry.
So he
Sorry.
points at him and he says he directed me out of town to a farm, and I delivered it to a site, just kind of a walled off old ranch. Everybody had that symbol tattooed on their neck.
what did you deliver?
And then he hushes up because Watt, the barkeep, walks behind the bar and comes over to assess. Okay, well, you got that thing tapped there.
I'm gonna start laughing loudly and clap Jerry on the shoulder.
Aye, it should be tapped up just fine.
And so he hands you, Humboldt, one of the glasses, or one of the tin cups. And he says, well,
Oh, sure. Lurk. Oh, Dane. Why, Dane? It's so strong.
He
Alex,
waits
can I just
kind of a
can I
moment to watch kind of if anything funny business happens with you, and then
No,
not seeing
aside
you
from
turn
just like
purple or green, he
drunk.
then takes a sip, goes down the hatch, and he says, eh, "This is some fine stuff. You say it's for sale? Sure, I'll give you 5 gold."
He says 5 gold
For a keg?
for this one.
Well, for this one, the half empty one.
That's half full.
Yeah. Is that a good price? I don't know.
This is some of the stuff that you personally made, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 5 gold would be like probably low to medium quality ale worth.
Yeah. Then no.
Well,
No, he says he'll pass. I think he was thinking for a higher amount.
well, suit yourself, and then he just like downs what's left in the glass and kind of motions for you to haul it away.
Aye, all right. Boop, 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 boop. Whew. Oh, it feels lighter this time.
Alex, I'm getting Trivium's a little nervous. Is gonna knock an arrow. That's it. I just anybody takes an aggressive action, I would want to shoot. I just want that known.
Sounds good. You're still trying to be like kind of coy up there, right? Like
Yep.
you're.
Yeah. Do you want a new stealth? I
No,
rolled a 20
I
to
think
get up there.
yeah, you rolled already, so just to like kind of repaint this for anybody that's like just jumping in, like you're not just sitting there on the stairway with a bow
No,
knocked, like
no, I
you're
am
like
stealthy up on a
yeah,
rail.
you're
Yep.
like maybe like kind of like around like the corner of the landing where it switches back and like goes
Yep.
upstairs, like yeah, you're
That's how I pictured it too. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
so
Cool.
anything, let's see, Galileo, anything that you're doing as all this is going
Oh,
down?
he's Galileo's just looking around the room and taking
hide
in
on the
all
way.
the people, and he's kind of listening to some of the conversations and just see it,
Give me a perception check. These rolls are pretty killer here tonight.
We are on
Oh,
fire.
yeah.
We are on fire. Yeah.
Everyone, it's so loud in here, and the noise of the tavern just kind of bleeds together that like you're not hearing anything truly meaningful because it's just too difficult to pinpoint one conversation.
Yeah, I just hear a few words, and then somebody else, shouts out over there, and I hear a few words over there.
So, you're kind of recollecting yourselves after being turned down by Watt. He doesn't want the barrel. Um, I guess everyone at this point can make a perception check. Dane, you notice this person that is on the bar stool right next to you um, is grabbing hold of their like the hilt of their sword, gaze fixed on Watt. And is kind of twitching a little bit. But there's just like this anxious energy, like they're tapping their foot. They're staring very intensely at the barkeep.
I'm going to look at him and I'm going to say, you don't want to do that, boy.
And the
You had
yeah,
to throw that boy in there. That's not good.
I think that's a lady.
we'll say this individual is a younger like half elf, and kind of just like gives you like a really dirty look, Dane. but says nothing, and then redirects his gaze at the barkeep. And then you notice that there's three other individuals over here that are moving right towards. I'm gonna say his name because it's the best name in the module. His name is Dick Wrench.
Oh, so we got to keep it PG-13, and yet
Yeah.
they're throwing those sorts of jokes about.
So just in case,
Oh, I
because it
hate when
probably
that
won't come
happens.
up, but
They're up with
that's
me.
his name.
I am hurting so many jokes.
So I'm not going to roll initiative or anything right here. I'm just going to go around and kind of see, what are you all doing? Well, actually, I don't know, Dane. I think you're the only one, and I'm going to say Trivium. Um, from your perch, you've got the bird's eye view of the room. I think in all the chaos that's happening in here, you notice that too. So, Dane, anything that you're doing specifically?
I did say out loud, so I would assume everybody knows that this guy is looking at our friend with the crossbow.
Okay, so you're kind of making it known that something's about to go down.
Yeah.
Trivium, anything that you're doing?
He looks hostile.
Um,
Well,
Hostile to
to
Dick
be
Wrench.
honest, you look hostile as well.
Yes, I'm super hostile. I just want to make sure if he looks hostile towards our party, I would probably just
But
shoot.
they seem to
To be clear,
threatening.
the hostility is not directed towards the party. It's directed
Okay.
towards this guy over here, Mr. Dick, and
Yep.
the barkeep.
Okay.
Can I move over towards Dick as
I'm
well?
gonna change.
I'm gonna say no, and not in. I'm kind of looking for sort of a like things are moving real quickly, so I'm gonna say in this moment.
I just want to change my held action to
Okay.
the person moving now has now got my attention. Anything hostile he does, that's my held action. I will loose an arrow at anything hostile that person does
Hostile towards your party.
towards my party.
Okay,
I don't
gotcha.
really care if he fights the bartender.
Yep.
Yeah, after all, he did turn us down. So what do we care about him? He's not one of our customers.
Not sure
Okay.
if I heard that, but
So, just bear with me because I don't know that it behooves us to go into a whole initiative to like play out this scene. So I'm just going to describe some things that are happening and then gauge your reactions to them. So these three individuals up here, and just to give you kind of a description of what they look like, they definitely give off kind of a feeling of um, sort of like river folk, like people that spend a lot of time on boats. They've got sort of, um, you know, nautical themed tattoos. They are wearing the types of swords that are maybe fashionable with river pirates on the Velverdiva. So they've got kind of cutlasses and whatnot. So they just kind of give off this vibe. Um, and these three, they move right over to where this fella is on the crate. They pull out these blades of theirs, and he's drunk, but he's not so drunk that he doesn't notice three people like pulling out weapons on him. So he kind of like scoots backwards a little bit, sort of trips, um, falls backwards off of the crate, and they start kind of going and slashing at him, and he's just kind of tumbling, like just reflexively trying to get out of their way. Um, this one here jumps up, does kind of the same thing, pulls the sword out and jumps up on the bar.
No.
And you want to Humboldt? You want to try to like grab hold of them, do a grapple, try to pull them
Yeah,
back?
attack of opportunity, grapple, just like nope, sit. If I can.
And I would suggest Dane. Would you want to like help with such a thing? To
Yeah.
give advantage on it.
Yeah.
So you have advantage, Humboldt, on that check.
Oh,
That was with advantage? Oh, luckily they didn't roll so well. So the two of you kind of fumble. Dane doesn't get up off the stool maybe and just kind of grabs an ankle, and Humboldt, you're like grabbing like an awkward piece of clothing. It doesn't look great, but like it's enough to kind of like plop them back into
Oh.
their seat.
this is why I don't drink dwarven beer.
So we'll say you've got kind of them grappled here in this moment. There are there are some other individuals in the bar that are like pulling out. Any of these folk that are the bandits that have kind of the guys that have swords in hand, they're all kind of scooting from their bar stools and pulling out their weapons. Um, so let's just kind of. I just want to kind of gauge now. Everybody's aware that shit's going down. So we'll kind of go around. Let's start with Teasley here. Teasley, what are you doing as you're seeing this kind of bar fight sort of break out here?
I'm ducking down by the stool and grinning a lot.
On brand.
Getting out of the way and just taking it in.
Yep.
Sir Gerald just kind of like is there right next to you. When he stands, it looks like he's like thinking about pulling out his sword, but like he's questioning why, whose side am I on? I don't understand, and um, it's a little foggy upstairs, so it's just combat reflexes. He hears swords drawn, feels like he should be in there as well. Um,
I'll
Dane,
say, I've got your back, Jerry.
and he kind of looks down and he's like, "Do you know what's going on, Teasley?"
No, I don't have any idea. We'll find out.
Then you see he just kind of like stoops down. He gets down underneath the bar too, and he crouches right next to you, and he's just like, think, rethinking his life a little bit.
And I will say, this time I'm sure it's not my fault.
Dane, you're kind of helping with the grapple there. What are you up to?
Yeah, I'm just helping with the guy that's
Helping
there,
to.
making sure he doesn't get over the bar.
That sounds good. Galileo, what are you up to?
Galileo sees this commotion going on, and he'll cast a shillelagh, but make no hostile move toward anyone, just to prepare in case someone comes at him.
All right, sounds good. Trivium, anything different that you would be doing?
Potentially, I have a weapon I've never used before, and it says it's ranged, but I'm not seeing the range on it.
What is the
What
weapon?
weapon is it?
A net.
A net is weird because its max range is 15 feet, but everything is at disadvantage. It's a ranged weapon that's 515, but because you'd be using it at 5 feet, you're in melee, so you're at disadvantage to use a ranged weapon.
Okay. I was thinking about dropping it on the three guys below me here.
Okay. Three guys below you are just enjoying, like they're not popping up and like wielding weapons.
They're not aggressing. And
Yeah.
I have seen nobody aggress towards my party, right?
No one other than the fact that you just saw Humboldt and Dane like grab hold of somebody and like restrain them. That's like the only combat thing that you've seen happen with your party.
Sure. No,
if you can call it
like
that.
I'm a Minnesotan dwarf, and I've seen a couple of supper club fights. I know what's going on. I'm just gonna hold my action if anybody attacks anybody that's on my team, and if they do, I'm gonna shoot them.
Hey,
Sounds
you're
good.
a dwarf now?
What?
You're a dwarf now?
No, I'm a gnome. I'm a gnome. Yeah, we're into cooking and life and a little bit of skating and how you feel about hockey? Anyway.
So Humboldt.
So Humboldt's got like a squirmy person in one hand and a beer barrel in his other. Like, Look, either I'm going to put this beer barrel down on your head, or you're going to tell me why you're trying to cut up my bartender.
Sounds good. Watt pulls out a dagger, and he kind of you got so and so held there, and he grabs a dagger and just goes and like throat
Don't
jabs it
make
right
it
in his
worse.
throat, and blood just pouring out onto the bar. This person maybe was like looking towards you to like start answering your question, but then he just like throat cuts him and he starts bleeding out. Um,
Rough place.
Oh, I was not expecting that.
and
What?
over here in the north western side of the tavern, where Dick Wrench is trying to get away from these three that are trying to take care of him.
That is a crime against literature.
We're grown-ups.
No, it's
I
a
love it.
victory.
He gets up and he pulls out. What do you got? What is his weapon? He's got a
Great.
scimitar himself that he pulls out, and he kind of like blocks an attack from this person that's assailing him. Manages to scramble to his feet, and there's in something of like a sword fight over there. You watch the woman that was with him grab that crate, and as she does, she's like beelining it for the door, and we'll say she manages to get. She gets like right here. Um, these other two kind of turn and look at each other, and they both seem like the most important thing in the room is that crate, and they start going in pursuit. And so you see I'm not really playing this out in terms of combat and everything because that'll just bog us down, but that's what's happening. She grabs a crate. They're running towards the doors here. These other folk with the swords um, are engaging in like little uh, bits of combat with one another. It looks like these three are going towards. Looks like they're trying to go towards the three that are chasing the woman to intercede or intercept them, to kind of cover her tracks. So that's what's kind of going on right now. We'll go around the table here again and just kind of get a sense of what are y'all doing now. Let's start things off. I think with Teasley.
All right. Well, I am going to, from my position hiding under the stool, cast a minor illusion to put a bar over the doors,
Okay.
so it looks like they're barred.
How big can the illusion be?
No bigger than 5 feet.
Okay. So it'll be able to make it look like one of the doors is barred, right?
Can I get it like halfway on each, just so it's enough that if somebody glanced, it would look like there's a bar there.
Okay. Um,
Like, I don't know how convincing it's going to be. I'm hoping that somebody who's running through the room might decide to take a different path.
sure. Does the description of that spell say anything about like a save DC or whatever that they would make if they? Because this is a cantrip, right?
It is.
Okay.
Let me see if I can just like stick it in chat. My screen is too small, so I can't.
No, that's
Did that
good.
do it?
It's against your spell save DC. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. So you pop up a little kind of rod right there in between where the two doors are, and we'll see what happens with that, whether that
All
redirects
right.
her or not. Dane, what are you up to?
Is this guy unconscious now?
Yeah, pretty much like dying right there on the bar stool. face
Oh,
hunched
that's
over on the bar, bleeding out.
That's unfortunate. Ah, Jesus, this is our fight. I don't know. I want to know what's in the crate. So Dane is going to go and try and take the crate from the lady.
All right. I think it's a little difficult for you to get up there at this point. There's a lot of interference in the way there, so you'd have to um, you probably have to maneuver either down. You know, you can pass through your friendlies at double movement, so that would probably be like your best route would be down that way. Attacks of opportunity are not coming your way because at this point no one's looking at you as a hostile quite right now.
So yeah, I'll get in her way and try and take the crate if I can.
All right, give me a strength athletics check.
Okay. Oh,
Ooh, a
nice.
high roll.
Oh,
Ooh,
two high
so
rolls.
you grab onto it, and you're playing like a little bit of tug of war with her. You don't have control over it. She still has control.
Okay.
Next, Galileo, what are you up to?
Now, are there two of them carrying that crate, or is it just one?
It's just the woman. The woman that was playing cards with Mr. Wrench.
Who's apparently really strong.
Mr. The Wrench.
So
Yeah,
doesn't
you gotta be pretty strong to hang out in a rough and tumble place like this. So she's got it. She's not letting
I'm
go.
going to keep up with
so
Dick
this
Wrench.
appears to be quite a burden for her, especially
No.
with someone trying to pull it away.
she's she's putting Dane in his place. She's got it. She's
All right,
it's large and unwieldy, but she's got it.
I'm going to move over here. I'm not going to block either door, but I'm going to stand in between the two doors,
Okay.
and I'm just going to wait until I see if she's going to try to pass through the door, even though there's that illusion of a bar there. But
Sounds good. Trivium.
I am first level, but I am going to. But I would like to try to shoot her hand.
All right. A
How
called
do you
shot,
want to do
huh?
that?
So we'll say, okay. First, you have to hit, and then we'll roll a
Okay.
d6 to see if the called shot happens.
Perfectly understandable. First level. This is not going to work.
Pretty good
So
shot,
you
though.
hit. Roll me a d6. If you roll a 5 or a 6, you hit the hand.
No!
Okay.
Bollocks.
Irregardless, you hit her. So she's gonna take damage.
Yeah, hurts me. Okay. So she takes the damage from the bow shot.
Yep.
Oh,
4 points.
boo. First level.
Probably a good time to roll minimum damage.
Yeah.
So arrow kind of, didn't quite get to the hand, pierces through her like forearm, and just causes her muscles to kind of tense up. Her grip is even tighter as she's trying to wrestle that away from Dane's trying to grab it from her. Humboldt, what are you up to?
So Humble just like drops the beer barrel in front of him, just kind of throwing it a little bit towards the other two. I was like, lady, shout out who you're working for so I know who to hit. and he switches to his quarterstaff. And that'll be it. All right.
Sounds good. The bartender is going to run. He runs basically over. He kind of hops over the bar stool here. Knife in hand. He's gonna get into a sparring fight here with this one. He actually grabs a longsword from behind the bar as he does so now he's like dual wielding, and the two of them kind of get into it over here. I think at this point we're in something of a combat situation now where there's going to be some more complicated things. I think we've got the setup. Like I was just trying to get to like this part. So here we will go ahead and roll initiative.
Right.
Everybody and their mom in the initiative order.
Yes.
I gotta remember how to do this.
Should I just roll, or are you going to put us into the order first? I don't. Remember
Yeah,
how that works.
we're in the combat, and then you go to the die in the combat.
Yeah, I
list.
don't see myself in the combat.
If you right click yourself and click the swords cross, it'll put you in there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh,
So many people.
so many people.
This seems like the action economy's in our favor.
Yes, that's how this works.
Yeah,
That's a lot of dice.
it's a lot of dice.
Anybody earned Fireball yet? We got Fireball? No?
No,
Oh, there's some dwarven whiskey.
super first level.
Board Breaker?
Nope, not a ranger.
Dwarven whiskey.
So this person over here, on team Team Dick Wrench, is gonna attack this individual right to his north. Shoot. How do you pop? Okay, it's a right click to pop the thing out. There we go. That'll help. Okay. Attack roll is a hit, and that's gonna do 7 points of damage. All right. Next up is Trivium.
1 second.
Sure. Well, while we wait, I'll resolve Dick Wrench's turn because he's up next. So he's going to take a couple of shots with his scimitar at the person he's dealing with. That is a 17. That's going to hit for 5 points. And the second attack is with his dagger. That one's going to miss. Sorry, Trivium. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I had a bio break. Dala and Pearl, those are the ones. Which one's got the crate in hand?
The one that has the crate in hand is Dala.
Yeah, Dala's gonna get. I'm gonna try to shoot Dala.
Sounds good.
Okay. And I think she's in short bow range, if just barely.
Yep.
Short range for a longbow is like 150
Oh,
feet. So
longbow, right? I keep forgetting that for a gnome, I'm
Yeah,
shooting a longbow. It's kind of
you
crazy.
can shoot like the entire world from here.
Yeah, with a longbow, yeah. It's the same height as Trivium. Okay. So here we go. Nope.
15 will hit.
Okay.
She's
And
not wearing any armor.
yeah, I feel a little bad about this. So okay, but still damage.
So 9 points.
And I'm going to use my movement to run down, actually. I'm going to put my longbow away and pull hand axes out if you allow it, Alex.
Sure.
And then I'm going to run down here because I don't like sniping people who are unarmored, but I think I need to stop her. And I think that's all I can do as a gnome.
Sounds good. Another bandit. Where is this guy? He's up here. He's going to attack the bandit just to his south. In my mind, these three are like unaffiliated. They just wanted to get in a fight.
They were just waiting for that opportunity.
Yep. It's a no-go for him. Next up is Teasley.
All right. So no one has attacked anybody in our group,
Nope.
correct?
Nope. No one's directly attacked the party.
All right. Well, I'm going to how injured does Dala look at this point?
She's got 2 arrows in her. So
But as an adventurer, does that look like she's about to go down, or
she's still standing. You know,
does she look
assessing her.
pissed, or does she look hurt?
She looks hurt.
Okay. Then I am going to move around to here, and I'm going to cast Sanctuary on her.
All right. And that's a wisdom save if anything tries to attack her.
A Wisdom save DC 13 before they can attack her.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good. And thank you, Monster Slayer Boss, for the follow. Thanks for coming and checking out the stream here tonight.
With my bonus action, I'm going to spend Sorcery Point to get a spell slot back.
Sounds good. Yes, we are playing the Temple of Elemental Evil, the original Adventures Reincarnated. We got the special privilege from Goodman Games to sort of preview it. So right now we are in Nulb. So we got to that part of the adventure where they go and check out Hamlet's sister town. Okay, next bandit is one of these 3 jabronis up here at this table, and there are 2 of them ganging up on the other guy. So he'll make a swing with his scimitar. Okay, that's gonna hit, and he deals 5 points.
How about you guys go fight?
And then it is Dala's turn. Okay. I guess the first thing I'm going to have her do...
Lead out.
What was it? Was it a intelligence check, Teasley, on the... Or is the minor illusion... Is it concentration?
It's not. It just lasts
Okay.
for a minute.
Okay.
So that's still there, and it takes they need to use their action and make an intelligence check against my spell DC to see through it.
Okay. Is it intelligence?
Yeah, it is.
No.
15?
Yep, she beats it. So she
Okay.
can see it's an illusion.
So she moves to here. This one is going to try to attack her. but has the this is interesting set of circumstances here. So it's just a check, right? It's an ability check.
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, it's a saving throw. Okay.
Yep.
And
So
that
he
is going to
cannot
fail.
attack her.
So gets away there. She steps again. Holding the box, she's going to kick the door open and try to step away from you, Dane. Anything that you're doing as she does that.
Am I not holding the box too?
You didn't beat. You would have had to have rolled one higher to change the situation.
Oh, okay.
So you had hands on it. She kind of wrests it away from you as she moves to try to make this exit.
I guess we'll let her go.
And then she's going to take another step away from you, Galileo, with your shillelagh out. Is there anything that you're going to do?
I didn't want to really attack her, but I'm going to use my staff to trip her.
Okay, give me we can call it an acrobatics check just to resolve here. Same kind of thing that Dane had going. You go and try to use your stick. She fumbly kind of like jumps over, but she doesn't fall down. So 5, 10. Just want to count that out again.
And she did have to use her action to disbelieve the illusion.
Yep,
So
she's
she
not
can't
dashing.
dash.
I think she gets right there. So, next up is one of the Reavers here. Gonna attack the Barkeep. With the longsword, or the sword. Hits,
Ooh.
deals 8 points of damage to the Barkeep. Next up is another one of those Reavers. This one... I'm sorry. Humble, did you take any action against
No,
anyone yet?
aside
You
from
have
the
not?
initial pulling them down.
Okay. So he's going to engage with this bandit here. Takes a swing. 14 is going to hit. Deals 5 points of damage. Alright, next up is the bandit that just got attacked. Going to retaliate. Hits, dealing 4 points of damage. And then we've got Dane. It is your turn.
How rough did that lady look?
I mean, two arrows in her. She's hobbling a bit, but she's running at full speed away with the box. She's hurt, but she's still got some life in her.
I am going to pull. Can I just tackle her?
Sure. Strength athletics check.
Is the thing still on?
It is. She's still
Oh,
under
yes.
sanctuary.
Yeah, thank you. Give me the wisdom saving throw first, Dane.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. So if you succeed on the wisdom saving throw, you'll get through, and you'll tackle her.
Oh!
Oh.
You go in, and like something
Sanctuary
just
protects her.
I can't do it. Um. All right. So that was Dane. Sir Gerald. Um. He still just doesn't know what to do. He's quite intoxicated. He's got a sword out at this point. He's just like trying to figure out where he fits in here. Humbled, it's your turn.
Why are you letting her? The triangles? Her? What? And then he'll just be like, rage? Why does nobody listen to talking time? And then he'll just try and knock out this fella here.
Okay, sounds good.
And to do that, I hit this button and this button. You know what? He'll go reckless, and I'll hit this button.
That's a hit.
And non-lethally. That was missing a thing.
Should there
My zero
be
kill.
two? Oh,
Wait,
Whoa.
something wrong has happened.
Slashing, radiant, slashing.
that's pretty good.
Hang on. 1d10 plus 3 is right for the first part of the damage, and then there's 1d6 plus 1 on top of that. Sorry.
And 2 for raging, right?
And then 2 for raging. So 4, 6, 5, 11 total, and
11?
I'll figure out what happened to my thing.
11 total brings them down, so they
Yeah.
are unconscious.
Unconscious. And that is it.
All right. Another one of this bandit here. It's going to move.
I will not take an opportunity attack.
It's going for
There.
Trivium. He has
Oh,
his sword out.
Does it appear obvious that that's what's happening?
I don't know if in the middle of
Yeah.
all the chaos that it would be super obvious. But that is what they are doing. Having seen a number of arrows go towards the person that they were trying to help escape, it would seem. So it's going to take a swing with the scimitar. And a 12, I would imagine, is a miss.
Just barely. But yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, up by Mr. Dick Wrench is in big trouble. He's going to have a longsword coming at him. Oh, and it's a nat 1. Let's see. Could be a fumble. And it's okay. Okay, next up is the Barkeep, who is attacking this one here. Okay. Yeah, that's going to hit. He deals 9 points of damage. And second attack with his dagger. Which misses. Bandit right here. Is going to move to here. Moves right past you, Teasley. Moves past you, Galileo. And to right here.
Did he have to do a wisdom throw to get through that illusion?
The illusion is still there, so he sees it.
He probably sees it, but he also saw the door get kicked open and her go through it. So I don't know. At this point, he'd be able to just, if it's only a 5-foot piece of illusion, he could skirt around it.
Yeah.
So,
It's a cantrip. It did its job.
Yeah, it's I know I am always kind of a stickler on the cantrip illusion because illusion spells are just fun to play with and it's easy to, I don't know. I think he's okay. He's gonna pull out his he's got a crossbow. He's gonna try to take a shot at Dane.
we, we picked adamantly neither side.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. He misses. And then it's Galileo's turn.
Okay, Galileo's gonna step out right here and he's gonna cast Entangle and try to get both the bandit and Dala in it.
Okay. So that's like what, a 20-foot cube?
I believe so, yeah. Let me see if I can.
And he needs to do a wisdom saving throw to attack Della.
Yeah, it's 20 foot.
Okay, so it's something like that. I don't know if he has to do a wisdom saving throw to cast this spell just because it doesn't target her.
It does. If it doesn't target her, he doesn't. The
So,
sanctuary is only if it's an individual target.
what do I need to do for saving throws here, Galileo?
I was trying to open it up, but I can't seem to. Open it up. Anyway.
I would assume
Says
Dex.
grasping weeds are 20 foot. For duration, these plants turn difficult terrain. Creature in the air has to cast, must succeed in a strength saving throw or be restrained by the entangled plants.
All right, strength
Against your
saving
spell
throws.
DC. Spell DC is 13, so.
Okay, Dala fails. She is entangled by the spell. The bandit, you said 13?
Yeah.
Okay, bandit's okay. They're not tangled, but this is difficult terrain inside the entangle spell. All right, very nice. I think we're back to the top here. So we're kicking things off with this bandit here. He's gonna move away from Humbled.
No. Reaction smack. Attack.
Guessing at this point, Hummel's just going to beat everybody up.
16.
That'll hit.
I am not sure what damage is going to come through. It will probably be wrong. So it'll be plus 5.
Oop.
11 damage.
All right, he goes down.
Non-lethal.
Just if you want to
That's
keep
fine.
track of such things, you could just track it. I accidentally
Yeah.
deleted them off there, so.
No, that's fine. Just humbled does non-lethal if at all possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Trivium, it is your turn.
So I got 2 bandits blocking me, right?
Just one. Just this one.
Just one. This guy here's not a thing.
He's just drinking, watching the fight
Okay.
right in front of. He swiveled around on his bar stool like, oh, this is pretty good. This is pretty nice.
So this guy actually tried to
Front row
attack
seat.
tried to attack me and missed, right?
Yeah, I think he missed.
Yeah. So I'm gonna drop the Midwestern accent and I'm gonna go, look at my height. Where do you think I uppercut? Get out of my way. and I will try to intimidate him.
Okay. Give me an intimidation check.
Gonna punch him right in the wrench.
He looks, he kind of steps backwards a little bit. He's a little bit on the defensive. Um,
That's what I thought. And I'm gonna move past him. I want to catch up with my party.
okay. We'll say the benefit here was with the intimidation check that he doesn't take an attack of opportunity against you.
Okay. So I will just move past him. I'm sorry, I need to not use a ruler. Okay. 10, 15, 20, 25. And that's all I got.
All right. Dick Wrench is up, and he's swinging away over here.
Swinging away with Dick Wrench.
Dick Wrench is up.
And he deals
It's not
9
unusual.
points. And second attack. Also going to hit. All right, that one is still up, but barely. We move to one of the bandits over here. Stabby stab the guy, the poor guy that's being ganged up on here. That will hit. And this one goes down. All right, next up is Teasley.
All right. I am going to run up so I can see what's going on outside. So she's entangled
Mm-hmm.
and she's still holding the crate, right?
Yes.
I am going to I'm going to jump under this table and I'm going to cast minor illusion on the space that I'm in to make it look like under the table with no Teasley in
All right, sounds good.
it.
One of the bandits up here. These two just ganged up on that guy. Took him down. This one is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He just runs
I'm
around
gonna
the
shank
room and
him.
sees that Humboldt is like kind of going nuts and is,
I'm going
you
to
know.
shank him from under the table when he goes by.
Oh, okay. Then maybe that'll change things a little bit. Go ahead. Make an attack roll.
I don't know if that went through.
15
It
will
sure did.
hit.
You're using that dagger?
That's what I got. I'm not going to use the ability on it, but
Yeah.
I am going to use it.
Although to be fair, it'd be a very Teasley thing to do to use that ability right here on this random jackass. So you bust out, you kind of shake his heels. He was looking to go and fight Humboldt, but he kind of doubles back, and he's gonna.
If he wants to see me, he's got to use his action to see through the illusion.
Just like with we're not gonna make this like more powerful than invisibility. I'm gonna say you puncture
Sure.
through the illusion.
Yeah.
It's kind of dropped. So yeah, he's gonna make an attack roll. So a 19 will hit.
Yeah.
And that one's for 5 points.
Okay. There went my aid.
So we go over to Dala. She's entangled. She's got these vines that have grabbed hold of her. there's sort of a little bit of a look of desperation, but she's looking at you, Dane, and she just kind of smiles, very sinister like, and she opens up that box. She just kind of like drops it and like opens up the lid, and as it drops, there's kind of a little bit of a thunk, and you can see inside, and it kind of, I guess as it drops, like it's kind of nestled in the vines and such, to kind of soften the blow. But there's this orb in there that's made of crystal, and inside this, it's fully transparent glass orb. It just looks like there's a raging fire inside. It's just angry and like wanting to burst out, and it worries you a little bit. Should that thing break, what might happen? And she grabs hold of it. So she's now holding this orb. Um, and I'm gonna say that was like her action, basically, to like rest that up, open that up, and hold it. She's holding it now. One of the Reavers over here is dealing with the Barkeep, so we'll make an attack against him. A 22 to hit. 3 points of damage towards him. All right. Next up is that one's unconscious. I'm gonna take these ones just off the combat tracker here. Dane, it is your turn.
I am going to hit her with my mace and try and do non-lethal damage to her. Just knock her out.
All right. Let's see. Do we still have Sanctuary up?
Yeah.
Um, I think I didn't say that I dropped it,
Okay.
and I haven't done anything else that's concentration.
So Wisdom saving throw. All right.
Yeah, that'll
So
save.
you make the save. Go ahead and take the swing.
Ooh.
I will drop it at my next opportunity, but I haven't yet.
I think you could choose to. Like, you could choose to right now if you wanted to.
Yeah, I will just let it go.
So 21, and you're just using the cudgel of striking.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna expend a couple of charges just to
All
make
right,
sure that
the
she goes
holy
through.
weapon of Saint Cuthbert.
Uh, so
Ooh,
20 damage.
20 damage. She goes
That
down.
feels pretty holy. Yeah.
Um, as she um as she falls, the orb kind of gets nestled in the vines and whatnot right here, so it doesn't come crashing down to the ground.
Now, is the vines uh, uh rough
Difficult
terrain?
terrain.
Yeah, difficult terrain.
Yes.
Okay, but she's dead, so I can move forward onto her spot,
Sure.
and
Just
then
walk
I am
across her
going
back.
to use my what the hell is it
So I
called?
do think you have to make a strength saving throw to the first time you
To go
enter.
into it? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, what could go wrong there? So athletics or strength save?
I think it's a saving throw. I think it was a strength saving throw.
Yeah.
Galileo,
Yeah.
you can help us out with the specifics of the spell.
Yeah, it was a strength saving throw.
Ooh, but 11. I don't. I think it was a 13, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get through. You're grappled and restrained. You just can't quite get there. And you can see that the bandit, you're like
Can
kind
I
of both
pick
looking
up
at
the
each
orb?
other, and he's looking at the orb too. Um, Sir Gerald is up. Um, he sees that this one is over here harassing Teasley, so he moves 5, 10, 15, 20, and he's going to go and attack him. So he gets to make 2 attacks.
Thanks, Jenny.
And he gets a critical hit.
Oh no.
He's had a rough life. He's just looking to. He just like goes and like he pierces his sword right through his chest and like kicks him off of it, and he hits the back wall. Um, and I think that's where he'll leave it there. Humbled, it's your turn.
Well, that didn't look good at all. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Humboldt will step up there to try and clock this guy in the back of the head.
Okay, sounds good.
And that will
That's
be
in the entangle, though.
that is in the entangle because I don't have reach with my staff. Do I have is entering the entangle cause the save?
I believe so, right, Galileo?
Yeah. Let me just check.
Okay, I'll
That's
roll
what
it.
would make
If it's
sense.
high enough, it won't matter. It's probably not high enough, so it matters.
So then the question is it just grappled or is it grappled and restrained?
A creature restrained by the plants can use that. You know, it doesn't really say when you enter it. It just says it would be difficult terrain.
Oh, it says a creature in the area when you
It says
cast
a
the spell must
creature.
succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just half movement then.
Yeah, I guess.
Cool.
I guess. Sorry, Dane.
Oh. So we'll try the staff and we will go reckless.
So,
So
that being said,
advantageous.
does that mean that I could pick up the orb?
Yeah, you had movement. You could have gotten there and picked it up.
Well, technically, she was just right beside me. So, originally my plan was to, well,
I think if I was counting right, like your movement would have ended in this spot here, picking it up.
so she dropped it behind her.
Yeah, it fell behind her. It fell right in this spot here, where you were.
Oh, here. Okay.
Okay, so but do I have to go onto that spot to pick it up?
Yes.
Okay.
So in the retcon of this, you wouldn't have had to do the strength saving throw. You move over to the spot, you pick it up, but because it's difficult terrain, you wouldn't have any movement to move out of the spot. But you've got the
and I would get the attack of opportunity if I moved one space back, and that's all I could do. So I will stay where I am. But I'm
sorry.
holding the orb.
So Humboldt, it is your turn.
Yep. Don't worry, Dan. I got you. Reckless attack, staff, smack. No. Reckless attack, back end of the staff, smack. 18.
That'll hit.
3, 2, 5, 6. That much damage. 15 damage.
15
Non-lethal.
points will take him
Wow.
down.
That's crazy.
Oh, wait. No, it doesn't take down this person. They are still up.
Huh. There's something wrong with my stick. That's it.
All right. Next up is a bandit that is in pursuit of Trivium. Doesn't like that it was punked out by you. Comes chasing you
Oh,
down, scimitar in hand.
I told you where I would punch.
But it is a
Oh.
feeble strike. An 8 will miss.
Now you know where I'm gonna punch.
Try to attacking while leaning forward.
Reaver up here by Mr. Wrench takes a swing. And will hit. Only 3 points. Right. Barkeep is up. Still taking care of business over here. Miss, and that one's going to hit. 5 points. All right. Next up is this one right here. Being attacked in the back, doesn't turn around to face you, Humboldt, is going to take a swing and try to strike at the orb.
Dane, protect your ball.
Oh, it's a hit.
Life is pain.
This could be pain. Just checking.
This
Okay.
seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, it's bad.
Oh no.
10 points. You see he smacks into it. Big crack opening up, and you can feel intense heat kind of leaking. It's not shattered, it's not broken, but like it's blasting you in the face like you're back at the Dwarven Forge, and like it's that kind of like almost like sulfuric like smell coming from it, like, and it's sort of shaking a little unstably in your hands. That's his turn. Galileo, you're up.
I don't have men, so I can't crack, feel that crack. Now, I cast Shillelagh before, but I don't know if it took effect. Should I cast that again? Just to...
I don't. Why wouldn't it have taken? It would have taken effect, sure.
Well, it was before the combat actually started, so
I think it
didn't
lasts
know
for like a minute or something. Like, it's around for a little while.
Okay. All right. I have reach with my staff, right? I can attack that bandit.
I don't know that you have a reach with the staff. I think you'd have to move in there, but
Oh, well, I
but you
will then.
can
But
like
I just thought I could. I thought with a staff you could have 10 feet of reach.
No, it's not a 10-foot pole. It's just a quarterstaff.
Oh, come on. Anyway, I'm attacking with
Eh,
quarterstaff.
Hey Cliff, if it doesn't add the bonus, when you hit attack, it'll ask if you want to add bonuses. Looks like it
It did
though.
not.
No, it did not. Okay.
That's what I was afraid of.
Well, what would the bonus be? +2?
What's that?
I don't remember what Shillelagh does.
Wisdom instead of strength. So if he's got a
Okay.
+2 wisdom, then it would be a +3 to that because it's got a -1. So
Okay.
a 15.
Okay, 15 will hit.
All right. Does it add more damage?
I
It'll
think it makes it
probably you
magical,
might have
maybe.
to just throw that onto the add it, but
So
instead of
5
the
instead of
minus
2
one,
there.
yeah.
All right, so 5 points. He's still up.
Does that does the shillelagh does that add extra damage?
Yeah, it did. We factored it in.
Okay.
Basically, it was going to use your wisdom modifier instead of what's happening in the chat is your strength.
Yeah.
So we're back to the top here. Trivium, it is your turn.
All right. So Trivium's got this bandit threatening her, right? So as my disengage action, I would like to make a feint as if I were going to bite or punch him in the junk. And then I'm going to run away.
All right.
uh, so then I will run into the entangle next to Humboldt. And then I'm going to action surge. Nope, I don't have that yet because I'm first level. Never mind.
Sounds good.
First level sucks. That's it. I'm there.
Luckily, you haven't been hit.
No.
You have to do
Nope.
the saving throw for half damage and then lingering injuries
First
and
level
all of
fighter,
that.
you probably got more hit points than me.
Stick and move, man. Stick and move. That's what I'm doing.
Dick Wrench is up. I hope this guy survives.
It would be a shame if the joke had to die.
It'd be a
Oh
wrench.
no,
Really would.
that missed.
Pretty wrenching.
Dagger attack. That will hit. And that is 6 points, so that one goes down. And he's going to run 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Teasley, you're not getting the sense he's coming towards you. It's just he's got to navigate around this table. So
Okay.
doesn't seem like he's lunging to come get you out of the table or whatever. Bandit up here. Teasley, you just see he he's Dick Wrench has his back turned to this guy. You see him like he's got his sword out, like he's thinking about it, and then he's like, "That's a really bad idea." But like you can tell, like he really wants to like stab him in the back, but he's just kind of going back and forth about it. Teasley, it's your turn.
I'm gonna renew my illusion here and hide under the table. And this time I'm not gonna ruin it by stabbing somebody.
Sounds good. Dala is dead. Reaver over here is attacking Barkeep. Swings and misses. Dane, it is your turn. Got this orb in your hand. It's leaking arcane energy.
Dane does have mending, so he's going to cast mending on this thing to repair the crack.
All right. Question for you about that. Does mending require a somatic component? Because I think your hands are pretty full here with things you're holding.
Mending does require a somatic component. Okay, I guess I can't do that then. Is that what you're telling me?
Unless you're setting it down to cast the spell. And I would consider setting it down the interact. So you'd be putting it out there. You maybe repair it, but it might be vulnerable for a moment. There's an active person that's like kind of swinging, right in front of you. So not saying that if you're going to do it, right where you're standing currently might not be the place to do it. But maybe it is.
Can
I don't know. It's
I
D&D. You
hold
can
my
do whatever you want.
action till after Humboldt goes?
Okay, what is your held action?
To mend it.
Okay, so your held action is if Humboldt takes this other guy out, you're going to set it down and cast Mending.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Next up is Sir Gerald. Sir Gerald sees Dick Wrench coming, and he doesn't know. He's still a little intoxicated. He doesn't know that this guy isn't coming after Teasley. He thinks he might be. So he's gonna swing around and he's gonna go for it.
No, Sir Gerald, we barely knew you.
He takes a swing.
Ooh.
He hits.
No.
3 points. That
It
seems
only
to be the
makes him
magic
angrier.
number against him. He takes a second swing with his longsword. A 13, not gonna make it. Humboldt, it is your turn.
We're gonna start off swinging the staff at this fella in front of me. Recklessly for advantage.
Oh my god.
We're gonna swing the back end of the staff recklessly with advantage.
Okay, you hit.
Oh man.
6,
That's the only thing that works.
2 plus 3 is 5 plus 1 is 6. For 14.
Goes down.
Non-lethal, but dunk.
Dane, you set
Alright.
the object down. Presumably you use a shield. You've been using a shield, right? So you're probably setting the shield down then also to cast a spell to mend. And you see the crack in the orb. The seam flawlessly kind of corrects itself, and it looks just like it was, undamaged, untarnished.
And then Humboldt for the second half will move 10, 15, 20. You look loveliness. 25, and then stop. There.
Okay.
There.
All right. Bandit. I think this is the one that you just took out. Yeah, I think he's done. It is Barkeep's turn. He's attacking this Reaver. Critical hit. He goes down. He steps up. He's going to attack Humboldt with the dagger.
Humboldt will polearm Masterman in the face. Or at least I'll try to. Having great luck recently. Oh, hey, that worked.
That'll hit.
$10 points.
And then is this at advantage?
He would be at advantage because I was reckless.
Okay.
17 will miss. 13
All
will
right.
miss.
So he misses. Galileo, before your turn, you notice that down the street there is a half-orc who's armed and armored, who seems to be corralling and calling out sort of a rally like a call to arms. You get the sense that this might be maybe a local muscle, local sheriff, local authority figure, because it seems like they're kind of calling out and summoning a number of folk who are also armed and armored, probably like a militia or something here in Nulb, that are sort of corralling around. Numbers at this point look to be at least 15, 20. They haven't moved or made any action, but they're taking notice of what's happening over at where you're all located. So, bit of information for you that there might be more coming if you hang out here much longer.
Does the entangled spells, can I drop that, or
Sure. Yeah, it's a concentration, I believe. So,
okay? I'm going to drop that, and I'm just going to step inside then, and kind of guard the door for anyone who isn't a member of my party, both inside and outside. Ready an action with my staff.
sounds good. Trivium, it is your turn.
Okay.
You also notice that that's happening. Some, we'll say, like 200 feet away.
200 feet away, northwest or north?
We'll say
Sorry,
directly east
east.
of where you are.
Okay. Um, and he dropped the concentration, so I can move. The only person I see is my deaf dwarven friend that's still out here. And then this person's dead body.
Yep.
Is anybody threatening Humboldt that I can tell?
Yes, the barkeep.
Okay, I'll shoot the barkeep.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Yep, that'll hit.
All right. For whoa, I hit attack twice. Sorry. Damage.
4 points. He's still up.
Bugger. And I'm gonna take my movement to move closer to Dane. That was a shot and a move out. It's time to go, and I will yell out, authorities! It's time to get a move on, y'all. Although y'all's not really in my bailiwick.
It's a different kind of folksy.
Humans.
Dick Wrench is attacking Sir Gerald. 16 will hit. For 6 points to Sir Gerald. And he's also going to do a dagger attack against him. 8 will miss. Bandit right behind Dick Wrench decides he's sort of a sniveling coward. He's going to join him now and try to gang up on Sir Gerald. Scimitar attack. Misses. Teasley, it's your turn.
All right. Is Sir Gerald, his image looks like he's wearing metal armor. Is that accurate?
He is wearing...
Because I would have advantage on the shocking grasp if he's wearing metal armor. That's
On Sir Gerald?
Which one?
Dick Wrench.
Dick Wrench. Okay,
Sorry.
I was like, holy
Sorry.
shit! That was
I
a
misspoke.
heel turn.
I'm not going to attack Jerry.
Dick Wrench is not wearing metal armor, I don't think. I think he's wearing leather. But let me just verify
Okay.
that. Studded leather, yep.
Okay. then I'm going to shocking grasp him.
All right, 21.
For 8 points of lightning
Nice.
damage.
Ooh. Zot.
And then I'm going to, that he has his reactions nullified, I'm going to run out of the room and on the way out cast a healing word on Jerry.
Sounds good. Dane, it is your turn.
Healing Jerry for 4 points.
I think that brings him back almost to full.
Dane is going to say to Trivium, get this thing out of here. And it's still on the ground.
The ball, right? Okay.
Well, that's all he says is get this thing out of here.
All right.
2, 3, 4. Who's looking really hurt out of the Dick Grinch and Watt?
Watt is looking real hurt. Looks
Okay.
like he's about to fall to the ground.
Then I am going to cast Guiding Bolt on Dick Grinch.
All right, 24 will hit.
Oh, that's a lot of ones. 8 damage.
All right. He's still looking pretty healthy, despite some pretty big damage coming his way.
Next attack has advantage on him.
Sounds good. Sir Gerald, kind of seeing where things are headed here, has heard the call that this place is about to be overrun. He'll take a disengage. He's disgraced, but he's not. He still has some sense of self-preservation. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He'll just kind of point towards the bridge, which is just, not such a distance just north. This was like literally like the first building that you saw as you were coming into Nulb. So he'll kind of point in that direction and say, "Let's move."
Good idea, Jerry.
Humboldt, it is your turn.
Humboldt will swing his staff at Watt recklessly, and we'll see if it works. Watt 14?
Not quite enough.
Recklessly hit with the backside of the stack.
Okay, you got it?
24. For 14.
He goes down.
He does not check his swing on Watt. He'll I noticed it because I'm a player, and when I see poisonous stabby thing, would Humboldt have realized that it was a poisonous stabby thing?
Let's say give me an intelligence check.
Now, that would probably be a noob. Nope, not advantage.
I think even with the advantage.
Fair enough.
No,
So,
the dagger itself does not visibly look special.
got it. So Humboldt at that point will start kind of moving out. As he does, he's like, "Miss, we're actually looking for a couple of kids. Have you seen them?" And he'll kind of like take position here, near the doorway, but not blocking it, ready for Dick to come charging towards him.
She just looks at you like you're crazy. She says, "In here?"
That's what I thought.
Watt's dead. Galileo, it is your turn.
Uh, Galileo was standing near this door, so he heard Sir Gerald when he made that call, and he thinks it's a good idea. So he's going to dash out the door and follow him.
Sounds good. As you're moving out there, you're at the end of the turn order here. There's a group of about 25 or so being rallied by this half orc who's wearing like chainmail, all pierced up. Very nasty looking customer. All of the people with him look heavily armed. They're heading this way. And so you've got maybe
Uh,
3 rounds before they would be on this location.
am I running toward them or?
They are directly to the east. If you're following Sir Gerald, you're heading north towards the bridge,
Okay.
back on the road to Hamlet. All right. Back to the top Trivium. I just
Yeah.
realized something
I know something.
fucking terrible for uh, the donkeys over in the stable.
Yep, down south. Galileo, you left the donkey.
Oh no!
All right, I just realized that. Trivium, it's your turn.
Well, you
They
can't leave
wouldn't hurt donkey, would they?
you can't leave a donkey. Is this here? Is that difficult terrain? And also,
were you
where would
pinging
donkey
something?
be from? Yeah, I pinged on this sort of grassy, mossy looking stuff.
No.
Do I know where donkey is from here?
There's a stables like way down and around. Like
Oh
if you
man.
at this point, unfortunately, if you backtrack that way, unless you got something crazy that someone can pull out, um,
I'm
they're
gonna die. Yep.
you're gonna be well captured or whatever that group over there is going to do.
All right. The ball got picked up, right? So,
Did the ball get picked up?
if it didn't, then I'm picking it up, and then I'm picking it. I thought I heard it
Because I
get
think
picked up.
I told you to pick it up.
Yeah, you did, but I wasn't sure if somebody got it before me. All right, I'll pick it up, and then I'm gonna move to the north towards Galileo. So can I pick it up and dash?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So that would be that's me dashing. I'll get right to Galileo.
Sounds good. Dick
And I've got
Wrench.
the sulfurous ball in my hand.
It is. It's not shaking uncontrollably. What the mending spell
Oh, okay. It fixed it. Okay.
seems to have fixed the container that whatever's inside is. Um, Dick Wrench is up and he's moving over to Humboldt to take some swings.
Humboldt will take his reaction polearm pop.
With advantage.
I don't think you get advantage.
No, you do. Because I guiding bolted him.
Oh, excellent.
That's right.
13.
Oh.
That won't make it.
Good.
Just sad with the staff.
That will miss. Dagger.
His advantage. I've been on.
Oh. Okay.
Yep.
Still a miss.
Still a miss.
And advantage on the dagger.
That'll hit.
24. 7 points.
3 points.
7 points. He's not
3
a
points.
PC.
I'm a
But
ranger. I'm a raging.
You're a barbarian.
Oh, I thought you were
Okay.
saying like
I'm
he didn't
raging.
get his modifier or whatever.
No. I got it.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yep.
sorry. I'm rounding down.
Next up is the bandit over here. He was kind of allying with Dick, as you do. He's gonna kind of navigate. He's gonna kind of squeeze by there. He's gonna take an attack at Dane. Scimitar.
Buddy,
17
that misses. It's hit 18.
and initiative tracker. Where did you go? There you are. Okay. Teasley, it is your turn.
I'm gonna dash to the south.
Easy.
I'm gonna save that donkey. No, it didn't work. 12, 15, 12, 10.
Okay. Dane, it is your turn. So, hold on. I just want to make sure that like I'm not putting you in a gotcha moment here, but at the end of 3 rounds here, if anyone is still here on this map, it's basically like, I'm gonna narrate what happens.
Okay.
Just because of time, and it's such an overwhelming force that it's a foregone conclusion unless there's some creative thing that has popped out. So, Dane, it is your turn.
Dane is going to hit Dick with his mace. Oh,
Cool.
It's a critical
and
hit.
I am going to expend 3 charges.
All the smite.
No.
All right,
All
and you
of
do
the
so
smite.
with the critical, yeah.
Oh, that's fireball level. It's 66.
So 34 points of damage.
Yeah, Dane. Oh, Kogo, why?
Is still up.
He is still
By the
up.
DM a
Okay.
reroll. Thank you.
Nice.
Thanks, Corey.
I am going to use my War Priest and hit him again as my bonus action.
Whoa, thanks for the jams, man!
And I am going to add 10 to that with the Channel Divinity.
He goes down.
Woo!
And I'm going to say to the other guy, it's time to go. This fight is over.
He just like drops his weapon and he puts his hands up.
All right. I am going to use my movement to go and grab my keg.
Yep.
You should. Yeah, you should.
And that's as far as I can move for this round.
Sounds good. Sir Gerald will move. And he's crossing the bridge. He makes it. Humboldt.
Humboldt will step out. Whoop. And Teasley, you getting the donkey?
That's right.
Okay, bye. And then he'll run north.
Galileo, it's your turn.
Galileo is really torn because he he thinks he may still have the opportunity to come back and get the donkey. So he decides to continue and run across the bridge.
Okay, sounds good. So end of round 1, 2 more rounds. Trivium.
I'm gonna dash.
All right.
Uh,
Teasley.
Same. Let me. Nope. 5, 10. Just running for it.
Sounds good. Dane.
Dane'll run out too and go as far as he can.
All right. Humboldt.
Humboldt will move it, not entirely running speed, switching out to his crossbow. Just drop the quarterstaff. Lads, we're leaving. We just saved your town. No need to thank us, but stay back there. If you get within range of my crossbow, I'm gonna have to shoot you. And just try and buy a little bit of time for the donkey rescue.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or-
that's not
or-
gonna.
It's not. It's no. It's just.
Galileo.
I didn't know I was still moving. I thought I was off the map.
You're off the map. Okay, yeah, you're continuing to move. We're back to last round. Trivium still dashing.
Yeah, I will follow.
Teasley.
So my plan at this point is to probably get into the stable and hide if I hear them getting there before I can do anything.
Okay.
And while I'm in there, while I'm in the stable, I'm going to try to make myself look like a stable boy.
Okay. So this is the roll. It's a stealth check. Let's see how you do.
All right.
Okay. It just rolled 2
I have to roll
because
from D&D
of.
Beyond because I can't
Okay.
see my character
Got
sheet
it.
on this small screen.
Yep. So
So
okay. So
it's-
you got the 19. You are hidden. They will not come looking for you in there. You've got your kind of secondary plan to. They see the bulk of the people that are running away are going over across the bridge. You're able to kind of slink back there undetected. Dane, it is your turn.
I dash off the map.
You dash it off the map. Sir Gerald also humbled
Humboldt's dashing off the map as well.
and Galileo. So, as we kind of the credits are rolling on this chapter of the community campaign, what happens here, Teasley? Hour passes and like you're hearing like kind of commotion. I don't give me let's say like a perception check to I don't know, maybe you hear something, some chatter or whatnot while you're hiding. So 12. Like you're not really sure what you don't hear like content exactly, but you do hear Laris' name come up a few times.
Okay.
So these guys are associated with Larith. And so you're
Okay.
able to kind of figure out, okay, Larith's got he's got some pull here in Nulb, and he's kind of running the show here a little bit. Your plan for getting out of this situation eventually?
I'm gonna dirty myself up, grab like some of the equipment out of here. I'm gonna cut Odie out of the harness and everything, and just walk him out trying to look like, destitute boy with his donkey.
Okay. How about a deception check to see how it goes getting out of town?
Ooh, I hope the 20 was on the right side. Yay!
It was nice.
So, yeah, no problem. I think you're probably behind the party by some distance, but
And
in the
just
middle
for
of the night,
flavor,
it's nighttime right now, so they probably have to make camp at some point tonight.
just for flavor, I'm going to throw my favorite of the gods on that because this is a story that Brando Barris would enjoy. So I'm adding 2d4 to that. Totally unnecessarily.
Oh,
but
okay, gotcha.
Doing it anyway.
Sure. Yeah, so middle of the night, all of you are maybe kind of, I don't know if anyone would be fretting about Teasley's fate because probably people are like somehow this is going to work out for him. And indeed, you come into the
It's
middle of night.
Teasley. He'll
Yeah.
be fine.
So a couple of things as a follow, like we'll do a summary and everything like that in the channel for people that want to know kind of what came of all this. Well, a big piece of it is you've got Sir Gerald with you, and he made a delivery to some people that seem to be affiliated with the Black Earth cult. So he can give you, and at some point he'll lament punching Udo in the face. He'll kind of be like, I'm really embarrassed that I made an ass of myself, and how much the last time I was there, I feel really bad. It's not his fault that I've got a drinking problem. Like he'll break down and get like real personal around like the campfire one of these nights.
My mother wounded me as a child.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
So he'll kind of let on about that, but then he'll let you know that yeah, there is a farmstead that is walled off that seems to be kind of an outpost that the Black Earth cult is using. What
Is
else
that
would
who
come of
the
this?
people that we just fought were? Or does he know?
He doesn't know exactly what the heck happened in the bar, but I think you all can probably figure out at conversing with one another that that was some kind of gang warfare going on in there. These were rival groups that were attacking each other. Um, don't really know who the sides are exactly, but it definitely. He says that the barkeep was the person that he came to meet with originally, so he's affiliated with the Black Earth cult.
Oh.
But
Try.
then,
Robe seemed to be the prize that each group wanted to get.
That orb.
well,
The
that
orb
orb was a
that I
part of it,
mentioned.
and the orb seems to be. It's not an earth thing that's sitting in there; it's a flame.
We should maybe get that back to Spugnor,
Yeah.
the most responsible person to hand an explodey orb to.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how
Yep.
I feel.
What could go wrong?
Best idea ever. He could put it next to the griffin egg to keep the griffin egg warm.
Now, Hubbard, I want you to know that's the sort of idea that I would normally suggest.
I would agree, except I can't think of anybody else.
Gully
I've been looking for. Where is Gully?
is probably hiding somewhere in Hamlet. But at least he's a wizard who's not Spug Noir.
True. But I'd like not to have the big flamey explodey orb thing in the tavern. I'd like to have it in the wizard tower.
I think that's a good idea. But maybe nobody pokes it for now.
Maybe more
That's
mending
a good idea.
and wrap it in cement.
The other thing that we could do is take it up to the big city and find a real mage.
I'd personally not like to spend as more days on the road with it than needed.
I think it'll be safe in Burns Tower. And we'll just have to be careful, right?
I don't know about that. Burn wasn't even safe in Burns Tower.
We'll put it under Burn. I'm sure when he was petrified, he was in egg sitting position, so we could just. put a little drape of cloth over it and then have burn.
Ooh, ooh,
What
ooh.
what a
What if we
terrible
take
thing for
it?
that
What if
poor
we?
griffin to have to like hatch and have his head go straight up that stony bum.
What if we take it to the basement of that tower where we stole the griffin eggs in the first place? That was all hidden.
But that was Lareth's lair. I don't know that we want to take it from
Underneath the griffin tower,
underneath the Griffin
where
Tower.
all the loot was we found.
I was thinking the moat house.
No,
Going
the
underneath a
griffin
lot of
tower.
towers.
Nobody uses that. We could hide it
that
down
we
there.
know.
Well, there was all that gear that was just there.
That makes me a little nervous, actually.
Well, we took it all and sold it,
But somebody put it there.
but it seemed old.
I think we should let Spugner have a look at it and then maybe do what Teasley said.
Aye, maybe Spugner could take a look at it with Gully, so they could slap each other's hands when they do something silly.
Hey, well, I
Sure.
suppose that's better than nothing.
And I'll hang out in case it needs more mending.
So I don't know. Let's kind of hash this out. What would happen? Like, so you're gonna take the orb to Burns Tower. Um, you go and you talk to Spugnoir. When you see Spugnoir, so those that don't know, Spugnoir is a super fan of Burn the Wizard, and he came to Hamlet because he flunked out of wizard college, and he was really hoping his second, chance at becoming a wizard might be to fall under Burn's tutelage. Burn didn't give him the time of day. Spugnoir has been trying to use party members, some of the player characters, to like get a good word in for him with Burn. Now that Burn's petrified, there hasn't really been a resident wizard exactly. So some of the party has suggested to Spugnoir that he spend some time in, Burn's stacks there and try to read up and see if he might be, if he could figure out a way to like undo this to Burn, he'd be very great, have a lot of his gratitude. So when you go and you see Spugnoir, he's all clawed up and scratched up. Apparently the griffin egg has hatched, and Spugnoir's been having a hell of a time trying to like deal with that on top of his studies. Little baby griffin is up on the top of the tower right now, kind of tethered there, and he's feeding it and taking care of it or whatnot. But he does share with you something sort of surprisingly useful. He found in some of Burns' journals something that Dane, you might be interested in because you saw this in the vision that you had of Emerald Meadows. And it's just one piece of parchment that has an image of. Is it this one? Okay. It's this is on the parchment as well as an image of this skull, which you saw the demoness in your vision holding. So it seems that Byrne had kind of charted out, he knew something about this skull and the 4 gemstones that were imprinted in it. This was a magical artifact that this demoness that Dane had seen in a vision of the Battle of Emerald Meadows kind of playing out. There was this demoness on the battlefield. She held aloft this golden skull that had these 4 gems on each side of the skull implanted in its like forehead and its temples and the back of the skull. So it seems like he kind of figured out which gemstone was associated with which element and had some notes scribbled down. A bunch of gibberish about the one that holds this thing could probably control the elemental nodes. You don't really know what that means. But it sounds bad. It sounds really bad. But then there are some other scribblings that suggest that each of the gemstones on their own, while they complete the whole of this magical artifact of this golden skull, each of the gemstones on their own is a magical item that has certain powers, that can bestow spells, that can summon elementals, that can channel the energies of the elemental planes. And so Spugnoir was thinking this triangle one you've seen before, and some of Burns' writings suggest that one of the things that it could do is turn people into stone and back. He doesn't know where to find this thing, but he says this thing exists. Byrne knew about it. Maybe that could be the answer. Um, so anyway, that's just a bit of information here at the end that Spugnoir shares with you as he's been kind of digging around in Byrne's notes.
So do we have the fire elemental then?
This is a ball. I think we're looking for a star.
Hmm.
Maybe there's a star inside of it.
Could we leave it in there?
Probably.
No, no, no.
Galileo wants to detect magic on it just to see if he learns anything different about it. He probably won't.
The orb?
Yeah.
Detect magic, I think, just tells you school. So we'll say evocation. I don't know if that's quite right. We'll say it maybe just to make it like the severity of it. It's not really a school of magic. It's like triggering feelings of conjuration and evocation. Um, it maybe suggests to you if you thought that breaking this thing only summons like a fire elemental or something like that. It's feeling to you like it's much more than that.
So the school of magic is somewhat confusing to me. Is that what you're saying to me?
Yeah, it's almost like it's triggering multiple things.
Oh, that's very puzzling. I didn't think I would get that kind of result. It's very confusing.
I think till we find out what it is, we should probably hide it somewhere. And the less people that know where it is, probably the better.
You know, we could go and look at that tower and see if it looks like anybody's been there. But when we found it, there was a griffin nest that had been on top of it for some time.
I just it's guards. I like
Yeah.
guards. Like if we were going to post guards at the tower, but I mean, we found our way in the tower, and we weren't even looking for a thing.
Well, I mean, we could just put it in Barnes Tower, but as has been said, he was attacked there.
And more guards.
So it could be that this is a discussion that will keep coming up. At this point, you've brought it to Burns Tower, but maybe this is not to be its final destination. Um,
Yeah, I would say until Spugnor and Gully get
Yeah.
a chance to identify on it and give any sort of insight, and then could we make it not be magic? That would be good, maybe. What if you
let's
poke a
see.
little hole in it and throw it in a lake? Hot springs.
There you go. Maybe this is a way to make it profitable.
Resort town.
Sort down, yeah.
Come to Hamlet. Yeah, so definitely continue having these conversations about that in the RP channel, of course. Are there any other things that we need to like wrap up or resolve at this point?
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for coming and hanging out with us here on a Friday night as we were playing some D&D, playing Temple of Elemental Evil. Um, there was like 3 or 4 places where we could have had something big happen. So we ended up at the tavern at Nulb, and I think that that was fine. That was fun. See a crazy bar. I don't know. I don't think we've had a crazy bar fight yet, so we had to check that one off the list, I guess. Um, so this is a community campaign game, and what that means is it's an open game. So we invite people that like watching, like falling in love with the characters, to come bring their own character in and be a part of the story. I know we've had quite a few people from YouTube say that they've been enjoying watching them, and then they want to create a character and be a part of it too. So that's totally a possibility. So if you're watching this, probably the best thing to just kind of get connected would just be to join our Discord. So we'll pop that in the chat here. So you come hang out with us in Discord. Someone will be there to welcome you and point you in the right direction to sign up for a game. Um, there are other games that you could join. We've got a very active community that offers up games in our LFG channel, so you can come and check that out. Or maybe you're a DM with no players. You want to run a game for some people. I'm sure if you come and you post that in our Discord, you'll get some takers because we've all got an addiction.
Whoa, thanks for the
It
jams,
all
So,
happened.
so thanks everybody. Let's see about a raid here. Um,
Raiders?
yeah,
Bum, ba,
let's
bum, bum,
go
bum,
and
ba,
raid
bum.
those folks over there at Prater's Rejects. So thanks everyone.
Woohoo.
We'll call it a night, and we will see you all soon.